Visit crazygundealer.com or just give us a call at 855-329-4867. That's 855-329-GUNS.
All offers and promotions subject to change or restrictions. See store for complete details.
Did you know by age 50, half of all men have an enlarged prostate? This more trips to the bathroom, longer time in the bathroom, waking at night to go, or issues in your romantic life. If this sounds familiar, call us now because we're shipping free bottles of Super Beta Prostate to listeners of this station. Super Beta Prostate is a non-prescription formula guaranteed to reduce the symptoms of your enlarged prostate. It's yours free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-952-3467. In clinical trials, the ingredient in Super Beta Prostate was shown to reduce urges to use the bathroom, speed up bathroom trips, reduce waking at night to go, and improve quality of life. This Super Beta Prostate free offer is for listeners of this station, but it won't last. Don't wait. Just call 1-800-952-3467. 1-800-952-3467. Call 1-800-952-3467.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
You went to the dentist and he said you have to have a root canal and a crown. That's going to eat up almost $3,000. You could get it all for around $1,600. That's almost 50% less because you're a member of RealMedSavings.com. What is Real Med Savings? It's a membership like a discount club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. You save money because we've already negotiated the discounts. RealMedSavings.com costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. But Real Med Savings is not just for dental. It's doctor's consultations, vision, prescription drugs, and more. There's no long-term commitment and no salesman is going to call. Cancel anytime. Save real money on health you need and use for everyday medical problems. Real medical savings for your entire family. RealMedSavings.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
How do we know the devout from the terrorist when it comes to our interactions with Islam in northern Texas? 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. We have reached out to CARE, the Dallas chapter, the North Texas chapter of CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, to ask that very question. How are we supposed to tell? We do not know which of these people are going to radicalize next and what they're going to do. We have no idea. We know that there is something different about this terrorist attack because of the FBI response. There's something different about it. We don't know what it is. In the coming days, we will or will not find out. But what should we do? What should we do? It seems to me that we have to adopt an attitude that we have adopted before, one of vigilance, one that is foretold at the beginning of the Constitution of the United States of America. The only people that can protect us are we, the people. Again, that's not for everyone. It is not for everyone. For all intents and purposes, there are three kinds of people in our society. There are sheep, there are wolves, and there are sheepdogs. There is another name for wolves: sociopaths. They only know what they know, only care about what they know, and will act on what they know for reasons only they know. There are sheep, and there is no disrespect in those people who are pacifists or who are not of the inclination to take the responsibility necessary to even protect themselves. These are people who say that there is no difference between a bully and his victim at a schoolyard. A fight is a fight is a fight. Everybody involved in the fight is wrong. Therefore, I don't have to think. My work here is done. And then there are sheepdogs. They go about their business quietly, unassumingly, reluctantly, protecting those who are either uninterested in their own protection or unaware that they need it. We have to determine which of those roles we play. We have to determine which roles we should play, not just for the sake of our own safety or the safety of our family, but for the safety of our society. The days of us being able to say, well, you know, I don't have to worry about that. All I really have to do is worry about whether or not I have my, you know, my sailboat savings account up to date are gone. We're under attack. We are at war with an enemy that lives among us, that disguises himself as just a regular guy, but isn't. How do we combat this? Next on the Wells Report.
To put it lightly, Sean Hannity doesn't like the deal with Iran.
This is the dumbest thing that any president I can think of has ever done. No breakthrough. We couldn't even get the 4 Americans for the $150 billion you're going to give these radical Islamists. What a fool this president is. He's just an utter, it's inexplicable. Inexplicable to me how dumb he is.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
20 plus years of unemployment. That's what retirement is or should be, but imagine still working when you're 75 because you didn't have an exit plan for the next stock market crash. If you think your current plan has too much risk, listen to Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Sundays at 11 a.m. on 660 AM The Answer. Rick and Kevin will tell you the truth about the financial world we live in. No one knows when the next correction will be. So listen to Plain Talk No Worries with Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Sundays at 11 a.m. on 660 AM The Answer.
Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY in Dallas Baptist University, welcome Matt Redman. Sunday, July 26th, Matt Redman at First Baptist Church in Louisville. With 2 Grammy Awards, Matt Redman's songs are heard around the world. Now you and your family have an opportunity to see Matt Redman in concert Sunday, July 26th at First Baptist Church in Louisville. Get your tickets now at itickets.com. This will be his only North Texas appearance, so don't wait. Get your tickets to see international recording artist and songwriter Matt Redman. Go to itickets.com. Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY in Dallas Baptist University, welcome Matt Redman.
Every month, Heather Cook helps dozens of people file claims for life insurance bought through SelectQuote. The stories she tells are inspiring, like this one about Joe, a 39-year-old research analyst. Joe was healthy, but with a wife and 2 sons, he realized he needed life insurance just in case. Joe called SelectQuote. His agent, Scott, shopped a number of highly rated term life companies, and though Joe's budget was tight, got him a $1 million policy he could afford. Last April, Joe died from heart failure. But thanks to his life insurance through SelectQuote, his family can keep the house and the boys can go to college. See how affordable SelectQuote can make just in case for you.
For a free quote, call 1-800-700-1773. 1-800-700-1773. 1-800-700-1773. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop. you save.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Let's talk about in-home sales. When I have a salesman in my home, I only want to know two things. What do I really need and how much does it cost? I just don't have time for the whole dog and pony show. So that's how we structured our sales process. There's no drawn-out sales presentation, and we don't waste your time with silly gimmicks. There's no haggling, no calling the sales manager for a secret conversation you're not a part of, and most importantly, no pressure. We simply lay out all the options, discuss the benefits, and then let you choose what's best for you. We give you the right price the first time. It's just easier that way. Right now, you can save over $3,500 on a new Carrier Infinity system. So call two other companies first. Call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Revelation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-651-4888. That's 800-651-4888. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis right now. Call 800-651-4888. 800-651-4888. 800-651-4888. Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. 4 Marines killed in attacks on Chattanooga military facilities today by Muhammad Yusuf Abdulaziz. There are all kinds of things about this that have to get chased down. The FBI is on the case. I have no doubt whatsoever that indeed they will come up with whatever is necessary to determine just exactly what Muhammad Yusuf Abdulaziz and anybody having anything to do with him were up to. Let me get to Talbach in Burleson, Texas. Sir, welcome to the Wells Report. I understand you're a former Marine.
That's correct, sir.
Welcome.
Just quickly to get to my point, I don't think M9s on the hip of those Marines would help them if they're inside a recruiting office and they get engaged from outside the recruiting office. I think we need to go a route where, sort of like when the Dallas PD was engaged here recently, we need to think more about putting some bulletproof glass on the outside of recruiting facilities. That seems to be a more logical answer to the situation. I would love for all my Marines to be, armed and dangerous, but that doesn't do them any good. I was a recruiter in Yakima, Washington. I know what it's like to sit inside that office. And if you get opened up on from the outside, that doesn't do you any good. Your M9 on your hip does you nothing. So what you need is bulletproof glass on the outside of recruiting facilities. I think we can afford that.
Well, that's an awful lot of recruiting facilities. That's an awful lot of bulletproof glass that then has to be removed after you guys move out of that particular area. What I would think maybe a bulletproof screen and maybe somebody with duty weaponry available in the office. I mean, I understand we were talking about that. We were talking about that today. We were talking about how the ammunition and the weapons that you use these days are designed to penetrate and go through cars and so on for the sake of trying to stop somebody who uses a car for cover. And so I can see that getting involved in a full-blown firefight, rocking and rolling in the middle of a parking lot is not something that would be anything close to being responsible. I see that. But on the other hand, what I'm trying to figure out is that clearly it is time to reevaluate what we're doing. And that doesn't preclude someone walking in and doing exactly what happened in Hood, at Fort Hood.
Now that's where the M9 comes in handy if somebody walks in. But if they engage you from the outside, I've been in that office before. You're sitting at your desk. If they engage from the outside, your M9 does you no good. You're right. If they come in the door, you can engage them individually.
Right.
But if they're outside and just shooting through the glass, you're kind of screwed.
Well, all you can do is do what they did, which is take cover. No casualties at the recruiting offices, which is good. That's a blessing. And then, of course, the rifleman went on his way. I completely regret the fact that he went to a reserve training unit that didn't have anybody at the guard post and didn't have anybody checking IDs going in. I mean, that's just something that, with an Overwatch, like an Overwatch tower somewhere in the vicinity, to be able to watch that front gate. I don't know if that's not a better idea. But yeah, clearly there are weaknesses. Talbot, thank you very much for your service to this great nation. God bless you. And I'm so sorry for every Marine listening to this and finding that 4 more of those great leathernecks have been lost. John in Grapevine, thanks very much for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Thank you, Jon-David. Jon-David, you had to know I would call you tonight. 4 boys of my family are in the military. 2 of them Marines, one's a SEAL. It's really home today, and I will tell you, I promised Vicki that I would not be profane, but I'm going to be blunt. I no longer care, C-A-R-E, what the hell cares, C-A-I-R, thinks about me, because I don't care about them, and I have not cared about Islam or Muslims for a long time. But today was the final nail in the box. And they better be damn grateful that one of our boys was not somebody that got shot up there, because then I will show them what the hell fear and terrorism really is.
Well, John,
we've allowed them to come into this country, Jon-David. We've extended all the benefits. We went over, we ridded Saddam Hussein. We've allowed these people to come over here, and this is the way they repay us. And I'm not going to convert to Islam. I'm not going to respect them. I want to see them step and take responsibility for the people that are loose cannons running around in their group. And that's all I have to say. I respect you and your show, and you don't need me. You do an outstanding job. But it's time to
we're getting to the end of the road here on this. This is not going to continue. The virulent and craziness of the Council on American Islamic Relations. This has gotten so bad that the first thing out of their mouth was, hey, we condemn this attack with every fiber of our being, which was good. 5 years ago, they would say, stop thinking that these people are Muslims, because they clearly aren't, and you are Islamophobes, and you hate us because you're bigots. CARE has empowered these people at some level to move forward with their planning. There is no doubt about it. An unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land trial. They have indeed empowered these people at some level. And they should be held responsible for it. But when CARE begins to realize that there's a big problem here, then it's time for people around the country to realize that they've got to get control of these radicals among them. You have to get this done. You don't want us to do it. I respect that. I do. Hey, I respect the fact that you don't want outsiders meddling in your society. You need to respect that we don't want terrorists meddling in ours either. There was a guy that was in the news a while back. We tried to figure out who it was. There was a guy who said that it was infuriating to him that he had to keep his eyes on fellow Muslims. He said that there was no reason why he should have to do that. Well, there is. Because these are Muslims that are making these attacks. These are Muslims who are committing these murders. It is heinous evil. It is random and it is inexcusable. What John says is completely and totally, utterly correct. The First Amendment of the Constitution protects Muslims. But Muslims need to realize that it is not a suicide pact. Everybody gets along in the United States. Everybody. E pluribus unum. If you know someone in your mosque or in your life that growls a little too often, talks about the infidels a bit too much, has friends in dark places, drop a dime. Tell someone about it. And do it quickly. Thank God that no one knows, no one has any idea who the police officer was in Garland, Texas, that ended what could have been yet another terrorist attack on American soil. We will protect your identity too. Do not let someone you believe is a terrorist commit a heinous act. You will be operating in the best interests of your mosque and your neighborhood and Islam, as far as I know. Doing the right thing is something that pleases God, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. And I'm sure you're sure of it too. My Muslim brothers and sisters, your religion is being hijacked. Your religion is being hijacked. There are wolves among you. And they are causing others to believe that there are more wolves in your midst than there are. And you better do something about these people. Rid yourself of them immediately. If your imam is not interested in any way, shape, or form in hearing anything you have to say regarding those who are a little too edgy, perhaps it's time for a new imam. Perhaps he has a flock someplace else where his message is more accepted. But being an American is Islam compliant. You can be a Muslim and an American at the same time. I know it to be true. I've seen it myself. You should be the next one. Ken and McKinney, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hi, Jon-David.
Hey.
You know what we won't see in the coming weeks?
Let me see. I don't know.
We won't see the left screaming about tearing down every Islamic flag flying over America, demanding that anything Islamic be stricken from our schools, off our public buildings or anything. That's what you won't see.
You know what? You know what? If this keeps happening, Ken, I'm not so sure. I said that a few years ago.
Or you won't see it from the right. Let me put it that way. You won't see the right demanding that, like the left demanded all rebel flags, even in our schools, be torn down and removed. This is the whole world's turned upside down.
Well, the actual world hasn't been turned upside down. It's that there are people who are doing our best to convince us that it's been turned upside down. It actually hasn't been. And these people are wrong. And every time they turn around, they're proven wrong again. This happens every time. This happened in the 60s when these same people stood up and kept spewing and kept talking and kept talking and kept spewing until eventually people said, these people are full of crap. And they got back to being Americans. I know exactly when it happened. It was 1980. And it's happening again. As we have this conversation, it's happening again. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Each week and every Saturday afternoon, whether you're remodeling an existing house or building a new one, doing it yourself or hiring a professional, we're here to bring you interviews with the experts and take your phone calls. And we bring it to you with a little green, whether it be energy efficiency or organic products for your house. So join us each week for a little House Talk Today.
House Talk Today, Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM The Answer.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
We are visiting our friend Chef Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
Let me ask you a question. Where you been getting your fried yardbird on lately? I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it's fried chicken. Well, at the diner, we do it a little bit different. Hand-pounded, hand-breaded, fried to order, and it comes with the best smooth, warm, creamy brie cheese. And then we top it with, oh my God, I can't even believe this, a tomato caper relish that is just out of this world. So if you've been eating fried yardbird somewhere else, come by the Crossroads Diner because my yardbird's the best.
Fresh ingredients sure to please any sophisticated palate and taste at affordable diner prices in a casual environment. Crossroads Diner. Come eat with us. We're off of Walnut Hill, just east of 75. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit us on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Homestyle goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
You're on vacation when you feel it pop. Your tooth just broke. You're 1,000 miles from your regular dentist, so this is going to cost a small fortune. But not if you have the Dental and Vision Plus plan from MyDiscountHealth.com. Get discounts of 5 to 60% at participating providers all over the U.S. With MyDiscountHealth.com, save on routine exams, cleanings, even major work like dentures and root canals. The plan at MyDiscountHealth.com comes with discounts on prescription drugs, eyeglasses, and more, all for only $13 per month. Medicare doesn't cover dental work, so this is perfect for you. Learn more. Call 844-450-2273. That's 844-450-2273. This plan is not insurance. Members pay participating providers and receive discounts immediately. Savings will vary by provider and service. Cancel within 30 days and get a full refund less processing fee. Discount Medical Plan Organization is Carrington International Corp, Frisco, Texas. This plan is not available in all areas. Call 844-450-2273 or go to mydiscounthealth.com.
We gave Tom 12 seconds to give 6 reasons why he opened a Mathnasium Learning Center franchise.
Okay. Great income potential. Doing good for kids. Doing what I love. Making math make sense to kids. 500 centers open already. 1 every 3 days. Mathnasium taught me the business. Helps me. Supports me.
Time's up pretty good. For franchise information, visit mathnasium.com or take the first step right now. Call 855-361-MATH. That's 855-361-6284.
Welcome to Staples. How can I help you?
Hey, Staples guy. I need to promote my new business and do it on budget.
I can make that happen.
Can you print business cards?
Staples can print business cards, brochures, banners,
pens,
magnets, luggage tags,
calendars,
sticky notes, lawn signs, and window decals.
What about foam fingers?
What color? Red, yellow, blue?
You had me at yellow.
Make on budget happen, make getting noticed happen. Staples, make more happen. Now at Staples, get 20% off any copy and print order of $50 or more.
Offer valid in store and online at staples.com/on-budget and 7/2015. Excludes daily deals, self-serve copying and faxing, computer rentals, and outsourced print services. Discount applied before taxes. May not be combined with any other offer.
Improve the look of your home for less with hardwood floors from Lumber Liquidators. Choose from over 400 styles of hardwood, bamboo, woodlook tile, and more, all for a lot less than other stores. This week, get gorgeous pre-finished 3/4-inch copper heavy hardwood for $3.29 and more from 99 cents. $2 instant savings on our hottest Bellawood matte finished hardwood floors. North American and European laminate from 49 cents and more. And 18-month special financing for the floor you want at the price you deserve. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. The truth. The whole truth. And nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. Many of us have been critical of the nuclear deal President Obama has inflicted on all of us regarding the Iranian nuclear program. Today, it was very interesting to me. The White House reportedly offered to boost military aid to Israel. According to the New York Times, President Obama broached the subject in a phone conversation with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. That happened today. Actually, I'm sorry, on Tuesday. White House officials said that President Obama told Netanyahu he was prepared to hold intensive discussions on bolstering Israel's defense capabilities. The paper reported that Netanyahu denied to discuss these subjects with the president, leading U.S. officials to believe he wants to wait and see what Congress has to say about the deal, which was agreed to long after talks involving U.S., Iran, 5 other world powers. Lawmakers have 60 days to review the agreement. Netanyahu has been the staunchest critic of the agreement, calling it a bad mistake of historic proportions. On the heels of that comment, President Obama then offers to boost military aid to Israel. Somebody's got a very, very guilty conscience. It's not me. It's not Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's see, who could it possibly be? Think. No, it can't be that person. Got to have a conscience to have a guilty conscience. Let's see, who could it be? What? You're listening to the Wells Report.
Here it is, Texas summer. Lots of high temperatures, some rain, and some periods of no rain. And put it all together, it makes a real challenge for your soil, your foundation. And if your foundation is doing weird things, you suspect that it is because you got cracks in the walls or sheetrock or doors that are sticking or floors that don't quite look right, not matching up, call Abacus Foundation Repair. It's the best first call you can make and the only call you need to make. Abacus Foundation Repair. They're going to bring somebody out to map the house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes like plumbing issues so the problem doesn't come back. Let's get on the phone with them right now. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. North Texas homeowners trust Abacus, the only company offering Millennium composite pilings for the strongest foundation solution. They're going to stay with you every step of the way. Work is guaranteed. Certified foundation guy on site at all times. You will be taken care of. It's transferable to new owners. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. Or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
I'm Steve Sidkowski, a former Wall Street insider. I'm holding a book that will show you investing strategies which could help you earn the kind of money you've always dreamed about. And right now, I'm giving this book away for free. So who needs to read it? If you're in the middle of your career and worry you'll never have enough money to retire, you need to read this book. If you're already retired and your income isn't enough, you need to read this book. And if you don't want to be selling burgers at 80, you need to read this free book. It includes the strategy I use to make a 72% profit on a trade where the stock only moved 12%. You'll need at least $1 million to ever fully retire. If you're behind on that goal, you really need to read Trade Like the Pros. And you can for free by calling 1-800-900-4304. Skeptical that it will deliver results? It's a free book, so what do you have to lose? Find out how at 1-800-900-4304. 1-800-900-4304.
Rembrandt Rockefeller for Solving European Sleep Systems. Things that require a personalized fit. Shoes, pants, wedding rings, heck, even brassieres. They all require a personal fit. Why wouldn't you do the same with your mattress? 30 minutes with the professionals at Solving European Sleep Systems, and that's exactly what you can expect. A custom-tailored mattress and a vastly more comfortable sleeping experience. European quality and components at made-in-America prices. Solving European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
This is 660 AM, the service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, the answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. 4 Marines are dead in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The gunman, a 24-year-old native of Kuwait named Mohammed Abdulaziz, killed by police. 3 others were wounded, another Marine, a cop, and a sailor.
The female sailor, we're told she was injured at the second site when those Marines were killed. So she was at the second site when the gunman opened fire on those Marines. The 1 Marine and the police officer were released. They look like they're going to survive. The female from the Navy, I'm told, is in very serious condition.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin. The shootings took place this morning at 2 separate military facilities. A Colorado jury finds James Holmes guilty on all counts in the 2012 movie theater massacre. Jansen Young was at the theater that night and says now she feels at peace.
I felt so much relief. I just feel closure and a weight lifted that I didn't even know was there.
Holmes could be sentenced to death for the killing of 12 and wounding of 70. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, the answer. To put it lightly, Sean Hannity doesn't like the deal with Iran.
This is the dumbest thing that any president I can think of has ever done. No breakthrough. We couldn't even get the 4 Americans for the $150 billion you're going to give these radical Islamists. What a fool this president is. He's just an utter, it's inexplicable to me how dumb he is.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM, The Answer.
For almost 2 decades, financial advisor and educator Rick Poston with Empowered Wealth Financial Services has provided peace of mind to thousands who see or hear him in the media or read his work. Rick has been chosen by Bloomberg Business Week magazine as one of the top 20 game-changing financial advisors in the country. A fan of Rick's profound teaching, Brian Tracy, world-renowned business leader, speaker, and best-selling author, has asked Rick to co-author his newest book entitled The Winning Way, where Rick will share with his fans some of the principles that allow Rick's clients to continue on their winning way. If you are looking to break away from that same old investment plan that has provided you with one too many disappointments, stay tuned to 660 AM The Answer every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock for the most educational hour on financial talk radio with Empowered Wealth Radio, live. Or call 469-361-4020.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question. Why is your mobile phone bill going to help Hillary become president of the United States? Answer is, same reason Big Mobile helped Obama win twice. It's what they do. Now Hillary's counting on Big Mobile to help her in 2016. If you're okay with that, don't listen further. But if you don't want to support Hillary or other leftist candidates and causes, switch to EOS Mobile. EOS Mobile. Website is EOScell, EOSCELL.com to learn more. EOS has the same great nationwide network, high-speed data, voice, pretty much everywhere across the country. EOS has the same devices you have come to love. And with plans starting at $9.99, a plan for every budget. But best of all, EOS Mobile at EOScell.com gives 5% of each bill to conservative causes and candidates. If you're stuck in a contract, they'll buy you out. If you want your phone bill to support conservative candidates, the choice is clear. EOScell.com. Learn more now at EOSCELL.com. EOScell.com. Same phones, same service, better causes. EOScell.com. EOSCELL.com.
Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY in Dallas Baptist University, welcome Matt Redman. Sunday, July 26th, Matt Redman at First Baptist Church in Louisville. With 2 Grammy Awards, Matt Redman's songs are heard around the world. Now you and your family have an opportunity to see Matt Redman in concert Sunday, July 26th at First Baptist Church in Louisville. Get your tickets now at itickets.com. This will be his only North Texas appearance, so don't wait. Get your tickets to see international recording artist and songwriter Matt Redman. Go to itickets.com. Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY in Dallas Baptist University, welcome Matt Redman.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
I'm a mother. When my kids were growing up, I can't tell you how many times they had a cold, an ear, or sinus infection. I already knew it was the same thing one of the other kids had 3 months before. Could I get a doctor to call me at home? No, I had to take off work, or worse, bundle all the other kids and go to the doctor's office. Well, not anymore. RealMedSavings.com is like a discount club for healthcare. At RealMedSavings.com, you just call the 800 number and a board-certified doctor calls you back in about 15 minutes, talks to you about what it is, and then calls in a prescription if it's needed. You pay nothing for this doctor's call because you're a member of the club. RealMedSavings.com is not insurance, just real savings on everyday medical problems for your whole family. Go to RealMedSavings.com. Save money and time. RealMedSavings.com. It's worth going there.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-651-4888. That's 800-651-4888. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis right now. Call 800-651-4888. 800-651-4888. 800-651-4888. 660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Somebody just sent me a note. I'm going to read it. I'm not going to tell you who sent it. I'm just going to refer to him as the Gunny. My brothers are sad, but we still hold our heads high. If you allow us to wipe out the 7th century barbarians, we will gladly do so. My Marine Corps brothers only await the command to unleash the dogs of war. That's what's on the other side of attacks like this, if they don't stop forthwith. One of the things that's true about Americans is that we all pretty much have fuses that are miles long. But at the end of that fuse is cataclysm. Cataclysm. The simple case of the matter is that this will stop. The people that have the capability of stopping it the quickest need to move forward immediately to do so. Because if they don't, we're going to get to the same place. But the conversation is going to be unbearably loud and incredibly close. Please stop this. Please stop this. Find ways to find these people amongst you and stop them. I'm asking. To do anything else is short-sighted. Jurors convicted the Colorado theater shooter James Holmes on this day. They convicted him on all the counts against him, 165 in fact. They convicted him for all the murders and all the attempted murders in the 2012 attack on defenseless moviegoers at a midnight premiere of Batman. All of the defense arguments for insanity were cast aside by the jury, and I think rightly so. The jurors took 13 hours over a day and a half to review all 165 charges. Now that same panel has to decide whether Holmes should pay with his life, and he should, quickly. He should pay for his life quickly. In other words, now that he's had a first-class trial, what needs to happen is that he needs to have a first-class appeal. Once the appellate court weighs in, sentence should be carried out. To do anything else is cruel and unusual punishment and forces someone to live on death row for an inordinate amount of time, and that's ridiculous. What everyone needs to know is this, is that when you attack completely defenseless people in a terroristic fashion, you will be put to death as quickly and as benevolently as can be done. Justice should be fair. It should be sure. And it should be swift. There's no reason to keep this 27-year-old guy around for any length of time beyond whatever time it takes to go through the appeals that I just described. There's no reason to keep him around. And that is the mission of the justice and judicial branch of government. I don't want to see this guy 10 years from now being successful in having his sentence forestalled by yet another ridiculous judge with some hackneyed idea of what needs to be considered before this guy gets put to death. And I'm just not going to be able to get to that kind of, well, unbelievably important thinking for another 3 or 4 years. And then on and on and on. The victims of the Colorado theater shooting in Aurora, Colorado, need to see this punishment quickly. Thomas and Karen Tebbs had a son named Alex. He was 24 years old. He just earned his master's degree in counseling psychology when he was killed. His girlfriend changed her name to Amanda Teves after the shooting. When the gunfire began, Alex dove on top of her to protect her. He just kept shushing me and telling me that I was going to be all right. When she realized someone in the group had been shot, she screamed his name but heard no response. A friend yelled that they needed to leave. She grabbed her boyfriend's hand. She wanted to take him with her. The reason so many people were killed, 12 in fact. So many people were wounded, dozens in fact, was because they were defenseless. They were mandated to be defenseless by Cinemark Theaters. Cinemark Theaters demands everyone be defenseless when they go in to watch movies. America is now officially in a post-defenselessness stage. We are now entering an era where people get to defend themselves. It is time for everyone that has any problems whatsoever with people carrying weapons legally to sit down and shut up. And in the case of Cinemark Theaters, keep collecting the money. It is time for you to get out of the way of the sheepdogs among us and let them do their work. To do otherwise is dangerous. It is deadly. It is negligent. It is not something that should stand for one more second. I understand that the wisdom of Texas dictates that alcohol and firearms do not mix. I get it. But I am a law-abiding citizen. Therefore, when I see a 51% sign or a 30-06 sign, I respect it and move on. But as I walk away, I wonder if this is going to be the night where some crazy ass like James Holmes walks in with his hair dyed orange and decides to live out some sort of juvenile fantasy about ultra-violence and the deaths of others. I do. I walk away from those buildings and say, I wonder if I'm going to read about them in the newspaper tomorrow morning. It's time to stop all that. Rick Perry said it to me 5 years ago. He said, you know what? If you've got a CHL, you ought to be able to go anywhere you want to go. He's right. Who else is going to defend us? James Holmes should have been executed on the spot. Very much like this guy earlier today, Muhammad Yusuf Abdulaziz. He should have been, this is what happens when you finally run across people who defend themselves. That's what should have happened to James Holmes. He walks in the back door. He starts shooting. People say, my goodness gracious, this guy's serious. And then he gets hit in the head from 10 different directions by people shooting guns with 5 different calibers. And it's over. First aid is immediately commenced on those that got shot, except, of course, for James Holmes. Okay, well, okay. Somebody calls 911 after their phone boots up because Cinemark also makes you turn your phones off. Oh, this is really a good idea. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. If we're going to make them defenseless, let's make it impossible for them to call for help, too. We've already got theaters that have only one exit, especially when a killer is using the other one. By all means, let's make it impossible. But I don't want to single out Cinemark, even though I'm singling out Cinemark because they're epically, stupidly dangerous. Take the sign down. Let the sheepdogs work. That's what I'm telling everyone. Everyone hearing my voice right this minute. Take the signs that say firearms are not allowed, because you know what? The last sign I saw that said that firearms were not allowed within these premises looked really stupid. You know why it looked really stupid? Because there were bullet holes all around it. That happened today in Chattanooga. It's the dumbest thing ever. We know who these people are targeting. In the case of James Holmes, it's just anybody who happens to be around. In the case of Abdulaziz, military guys, police officers, first responders. You know what those guys need? They need to be protected. And they need to be protected by anybody who wants to do the job. It's time for us to knock off this garbage about whether or not people who are carrying CHLs should be limited in some other way. You know, I'm not exactly sure that we should let these people go and, well, defend anybody. You know, we'll let them carry guns, but by golly, I don't know that we should let them go into that building or that building over there or that building over there. You need to let them go into those places. There needs to be somebody that's set aside to protect the people in those places. And they need to be vigilant. And they need to be ready. And they need to be on the job 5 minutes from now. This is the Wells Report.
This is Michael Medved for townhall.com. During the 4th of July holiday, some supporters of the Confederate battle flag asked why Americans celebrate the colonists breaking away from Britain, but condemn the attempt by Southerners to separate from the federal government. Actually, a key slogan of the revolution was no taxation without representation. But Southerners were well represented in Washington, D.C. and dominated the government most of the time before the Civil War. Among the 15 presidents before Lincoln, big majority, 9 of them, were from the South. Of the 5 presidents who won election from northern states, every single one of them had a Southern vice president. Southerners were also overrepresented in the House of Representatives because their 4 million slaves counted as 3/5 of a person for
Norris Conference Center on Houston Street, another in Richardson on East Campbell Road.
Software to protect your computer. You've subscribed to an identity theft monitoring service to protect your personal information. But have you considered protect your loved ones and Now, 1-888-89. ANICOLife.com.
Did you know by age 50, half of all men have an enlarged prostate? This means more trips to the bathroom, longer time in the bathroom, waking at night to go, or issues in your romantic life. If this sounds familiar, call us now, because we're shipping free bottles of Super Beta Prostate to listeners of this station. Super Beta Prostate is a non-prescription formula guaranteed to reduce the symptoms of your enlarged prostate. It's yours free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-952-3467. In clinical trials, the ingredient in Super Beta Prostate was shown to reduce urges to use the bathroom, speed up bathroom trips, reduce waking at night to go, and improve quality of life. This Super Beta Prostate free offer is for listeners of this station, but it won't last. Don't wait. Just call 1-800-952-3467. That's 1-800-952-3467. Call 1-800-952-3467.
Need a tractor for tough jobs? Do more for less with a Kubota L-Series compact tractor. Forged from our proven design and highest quality materials, Kubota has been committed to building the industry's best compact tractors for decades. Get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years during our More Power to You sales event. That's value. That's Kubota. Financing available through Kubota Credit Corporation USA. Call toll-free 1-888-465-8268 for details about costs and terms.
For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Enough is enough. We've had enough. I know that America's left has been working ceaselessly to attempt to render all of us as a group of victims for the next crazy person that we convicted today in Colorado. I know they want us to be completely and totally victimized by crazy, well, in this case, not crazy, calculating sociopaths. I refuse to cooperate. I refuse to be forced into a position to force my family to cooperate with that ill-begotten, stupid-ass, dumb argument. The people who turn in their weapons when gun control is ever mentioned are the people that follow the law. The people that shoot people are people who do not follow the law. Time is nigh to stop being stupid and stop denying reality for the sake of idiotic politics. The next time somebody bravely stands up and says we should turn all of our weapons in, look them right in the eye and say, sit down, shut up, and allow us to save your life. And mean it when you say it. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that people be put in a position where they're completely defenseless. I think it's absolutely stupid. One of my favorite majors of all time looked at me once and said, you know, Green Berets carry guns. Yes, they do. Why would they not? Why would we keep putting people in a position to, if they are capable and they are willing, why do we keep putting them in a position where they have to sit there and wonder if they're going to get shot in the head today? This is just plain insanity. It is complete nuttiness. Everybody that went to the Cinemark Theater in time for Batman and that man, that James Holmes man that just got convicted of murder, Everybody needs to get a couple of $1 million from Cinemark for forcing them to be defenseless. It is stupid and it is ridiculous. Adam in Grapevine, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm great.
I just wanted to make the point that no one seems to be bringing up. That is, the Second Amendment is very clear that we have the right to bear arms to defend ourselves against a tyrannical government. And unless you can make an argument against that, there is no reason to take away the Second Amendment. Period.
Exactly. And the people that would try are traitors. That's not me and my right-wing craziness. Not that I am a right-wing crazy under any circumstance. I'm an American conservative. There's a difference. James Madison said that those people that tried to overturn the Second Amendment were traitors. You know why? Because people that want to overturn the Second Amendment are traitors. Traitors. They are unworthy of public office. In fact, anybody who tries to overturn any of the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, anybody that tries to do that, if they are in public office, needs to be removed forthwith. I'm sorry that a government that is mandated by the Constitution should be constitutionally compliant. Don't you think? Golly, it does sound kind of stupid when you say it that way. Yeah, it really does. It's kind of stupid. Yeah, it's almost like sitting in a theater waiting for somebody to shoot you in the head because you were good enough to put your weapon back in your car because of a sign. Not a law, a sign. Idiocy. This is the Wells Report.
Bill Bennett breaks down the deal with Iran.
Look, I noticed who celebrated this deal. Iran did, Russia did, Syria, Assad did. But that's in some ways beside the point. It tells you something. It's indicative of something. But the question is, in the four corners of this agreement, does it make sense?
Bill Bennett's Morning in America, weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Our country was built upon the foundation of strong men and women who had a vision for what America should look like decades ahead. From the brave soldiers who battled for our freedom to the police and firemen who keep us safe here at home. These are the people who have built the foundation that can support America for years to come. Foundations are just as important for your home as those men and women are for our beautiful country. And that's why Alliance Foundation is here to help. At Alliance Foundation, they know just what your home needs. It may not be the cheapest quote out there, but it's definitely going to be the one that does the job right. Wouldn't you rather take the time to have it done right the first time and not have to go do it over again? Alliance Foundation knows that you don't put a Band-Aid on something that needs stitches. Alliance Foundation also wants to give all former and current military, as well as emergency servicemen, a 10% discount on all their jobs. So go online to AllianceFoundationRepairTexas.com. That's AllianceFoundationRepairTexas.com.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to. Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Let's talk about in-home sales. When I have a salesman in my home, I only want to know two things. What do I really need and how much does it cost? I just don't have time for the whole dog and pony show. So that's how we structured our sales process. There's no drawn-out sales presentation, and we don't waste your time with silly gimmicks. There's no haggling, no calling the sales manager for a secret conversation you're not a part of, and most importantly, no pressure. We simply lay out all the options, discuss the benefits, and then let you choose what's best for you. We give you the right price the first time. It's just easier that way. Right now, you can save over $3,500 on a new Carrier Infinity system. So call 2 other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Set sail with Newt Gingrich. Get aboard the Elegant Crystal Symphony for a spectacular 7-day cruise from New York to Montreal. At the same time, enjoy stimulating seminars on politics and investment. Our guests include Newt Gingrich, Mark Skousen, John Ransom, and Chris Versace. And everything's included. We set sail September 13th through the 20th. Join us for the Politics in Your Portfolio cruise. Log on to politicsandyourportfolio.com for all the details. Politicsandyourportfolio.com.
When you see what huge debt did to Greece, the Chinese stock market spiraling into a bear market, it's a reminder that nobody is exempt. If you're retired or retiring and can't afford a loss like 2008, the time to protect yourself is now.
This is Ken Moraith, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
Choose July 21st in McKinney, Thursday, July 23rd in Fort Worth, or Saturday, July 25th in Plano. Please register now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
Rembrandt Rockefeller for Sovereign European Sleep Systems. Are you aware that your current mattress may contain a toxic little secret? Most mattresses contain flame-retardant chemicals that have been linked to serious health risks like infertility, low IQ scores, behavioral problems in children, and all sorts of cancers. So if you find this disturbing and you'd prefer not to sleep in toxic soup, take a trip to Sovereign European Sleep Systems. Their mattresses are third-party certified as free of harmful chemicals. Sovereign European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. What do you say we tell you and invite you and beg you to listen to Mark Davis tomorrow morning? I think that would be a wonderful plan. I think you should do it forthwith. And here is why, in Mark Davis's very own words on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hey, JD, good Thursday night. Ready for a big old Friday morning, and I do mean big. We start at 5 o'clock in the morning on Bill Bennett's Morning in America. I'm going to see what the whole country thinks of this horrible nuclear deal. Maybe not everybody hates it as much as I do. I don't know. We'll check. And a number of other things along the 2016 campaign trail and various other issues. That's 5 to 8 a.m. on Morning in America. 8 to 10, it's local in terms of scope and audience, but topically anything you want. So aim anywhere there, 5 to 10 a.m., and we'll be there in some form. Mark Davis looking for you tomorrow morning, anywhere 5 to 10 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Thank you, Mark. I'll look forward to your show tomorrow like I always do. Time for us to talk a little presidential politics. Let's start with Donald Trump, who says he would end gun-free zones on military bases. The interesting thing about this is the article was written and was published in the Washington Examiner. And the Washington Examiner does not seem to be a friend of Donald Trump. Don't ask me why. Donald Trump was unfortunately proven right on another one of his top issues today: gun-free zones at military bases. In an interview with the website ammoland.com, Trump decried the zones on military bases, suggested that they left highly trained gun operators without a weapon to fire at attackers, with the exception of military police. A photo from the scene taken from a local Fox station showed 29 bullet holes around a gun-free zone sign. By the way, Donald Trump carries a pistol. He ripped a policy implemented by former President Bill Clinton making military bases gun-free zones, declaring that if he was president, bases would no longer be defenseless against terror attacks. As commander-in-chief, I would mandate that soldiers remain armed and on alert at our military bases. Well, let's put it this way. I believe that those people responsible for protecting the force should be armed and alert on military bases. Okay? That's what I believe. And I believe that they should probably have a little bigger job just as a private citizen. That's all I'm saying. It's something that needs to happen. President Clinton should have never passed a ban on soldiers being able to protect themselves on bases. America's armed force will be armed, said Donald Trump. While military police are armed, the rules prohibit soldiers on bases from packing heat, even though virtually all have been trained to use them. Thankfully. In several terror attacks at military bases, critics of the policy have said that soldiers would have been able to thwart the attack if armed. Yeah. Can you imagine what Nadal Hassan would have looked like if most of the people involved in the soldier processing facility he attacked were carrying their M9s? The only bad thing that would have happened under those circumstances, is that there would have been hearing damage as 130 M9s all open up on one target. It's called concentrated fire, in case you wonder. Trump agreed, telling, soldiers would definitely be able to thwart any attack. They've been thwarting attacks for centuries. Trump agreed, telling AmmoLand that as president, they will be able to defend themselves against terrorists. Our brave soldiers should not be at risk because of a policy created by civilian leadership. Political correctness has no place in this debate. Okay. By the way, in case you're wondering, the latest Fox News poll finds another reshuffling for the race for the 2016 presidential nomination, as Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker gets a post-announcement bump and businessman Donald Trump claims more of the spotlight. Wow. Among Republican primary voters, Trump captures 18%. He's followed closely by Walker at 15%, former Governor Jeb Bush at 14%. Nobody else reaches double digits. Support for Trump is up 7 percentage points since last month and up 14 points since May. He's also the candidate GOP primary voters say they are most interested in learning more about during the debates. Yes, sir. And speaking of the debates, they're going to have to do something about these debates. Everybody that has run for president needs to be present at those debates. And Fox News needs to relent on this ridiculous policy that only people in the top 10 need apply to be presidential debate material. Stop it. Stop it this moment. You're playing Republican politics. Stop it. I want to hear everybody. I want to hear Fox News cover the Republican Party debate. I don't want Fox News Channel to dictate the terms of the Republican Party debate. I have said this, that the media of the United States defines our political candidates is absolutely ridiculous. And I made it very, very clear in the last presidential election when the leftist press was trying to determine and define Republican candidates. Well, now it's the Republican side. It is the right side of America's media that I'm absolutely foursquare criticizing immediately, just as harshly as I do CNN, just as harshly as I do MSNBC. This will not stand. I want everybody that runs for the presidency of the United States to be heard on the issues. And I think you do too. And if you don't, you need to rethink. If Fox News follows through on this, they are no better than any other left-wing, crazy, nutcase media group that is corrupt. And somebody needs to say something about it. And fortunately, Ted Cruz is. Ted Cruz's campaign is leading a charge to pressure Fox News into raising its standards for the national polls that will decide to get into the first Republican presidential debate. In a memo sent to fellow GOP campaigns, Chris Wilson, who serves as Director of Research and Analytics for the Cruz campaign, called Fox News standards for deciding which national polls are used in its debate unclear. Wilson asked other campaigns to consider joining with us and encouraging the network to impose additional polling standards. As it stands, Fox News is allowing the top 10 contenders, based on an average of the 5 most recent national polls, into the August 6th debate. I'm sure you're aware the Fox News channel for the first GOP presidential debate, the standards set are unclear and undefined. Among Cruz's campaign suggestions that polls be included in the national average must have at least 1,000 interviews with primary voters, must be done by telephone, not online. However, no telephone poll conducted this year has surveyed that many GOP primary voters. Wilson also suggests that for a survey to be included in the national average, it must not be conducted on a Friday or Saturday when fewer voters are at home to answer the phone. By almost any averaging of recent national polls, Cruz would make the cut for the top 10, but his position in the top 10 is less certain than many other candidates. I'm very open to other criteria, so please let me know your thoughts. Once I hear back from you and the other campaigns, we will put together a joint letter to be sent to Fox. Here's what needs to happen. No Republican campaign should be on a debate stage unless every other Republican campaign is on the debate stage. There, it's simple, it's unambiguous, it's easy to deal with. Split the debates up into 3 or however many you want for the Republican candidates to be allowed to be able to speak. Put them up there by lots. Ask the same questions. And get out of the way. Report the story. Do not concoct the story. That's what CNN does. That's what NBC does. That's what ABC does. That's what CBS does. That's what all of them do. That cannot be what Fox does. I don't care how many commercials you will be able to sell or won't be able to sell. I don't care. I will write off Fox News Channel just like I've written off CNN and MSNBC if it wasn't for the fact that I'm a professional and I have to listen to what they are reporting. I wouldn't listen to CNN and I wouldn't listen to MSNBC for all the love and money in the world. Because those are corrupt, idiotic organizations that are only out there to tell the story that they hope will get their person elected. That's all. That's all they do. The only time they ever do their job is when a Republican is the president. Did you see Major Garrett getting snotted on by CNN today? He got yelled at by his colleagues. You've got to be more respectful of the president. No, you don't. There was nothing disrespectful about what Major Garrett said to the president when he asked, hey, how do you go to sleep at night when there are 4 American hostages being held in Iran that you didn't even bring up in communications during this world-changing nuclear treaty? Why didn't you bring them up and say, send them home? Because it was too complex. Baloney, sir. And then Major Garrett gets crapped on by his colleagues. Are you kidding me? You must be joking. That means the only guy in the White House press corps actually doing his job is Major Garrett. Jonathan Karl's not doing bad either. I'm not saying that you have to be a horse's patoot when you're asking the president questions. I'm not saying that. But you've got to start asking questions that elicit something more than a presidential response of you should know better. Mr. President, he does know better. And you trying to bully him from the podium, well, you know what? That's unpresidential. But all this being said, everybody needs to debate. Everybody. Because good things happen when people debate. Here, let me give you an example. Donald Trump and Rick Perry. They started getting into it over border security. Rick Perry said that Donald Trump believes states should fend for themselves on border security. He slammed Republican presidential rival Donald Trump for a toxic mix of demagoguery and nonsense on immigration and said he has a fundamental misunderstanding about securing the border. What Mr. Trump is offering is not conservatism, it is Trumpism, a toxic mix of demagoguery and nonsense. Perry also criticized President Barack Obama's efforts on securing the border with Mexico, and Trump believes that the states should fend for themselves on border security. Not only is this wrong, it perpetuates the same failed policies that have left our southern border porous and vulnerable. There's exactly one politician in this race that's done anything about border security in the United States of America. And like him or don't like him, it's Governor Rick Perry. He's the only guy that's ever done anything about border security. He went on to say, America doesn't need another president who will pass the buck on border security. We need a president who will finally act to secure the border after decades of failed leadership in Washington, D.C. Mr. Trump has done nothing to prove that he is the president America needs, except, of course, employ lots and lots of illegal people who are making beds in hotels with Trump on the outside of them. Don Trump started showing his cracks in the armor when he replied by criticizing Governor Perry's ability to secure the border. Excuse me, Mr. Trump, he's the only American politician that has secured the border, and he has. And then he falls back on the tried and true mission of the elite, which is to tell anybody who disagrees that they don't know anything. Governor Perry failed on the border. He should be forced to take an IQ test before being allowed to enter the GOP debate. No, Mr. Trump, that's what liberals say to anybody who disagrees with them. What are you trying to portray yourself as, sir? No, Rick Perry got that one right. Rick Perry got that one right. And Donald Trump needs to hush. He needs to talk about something else. Talk about immigration. Leave border security to the professionals, like Governor Rick Perry. You're listening to the Wells Report.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy, here with the Big Boat and Outdoor Show. It's boating time, folks, so don't forget to tune in to the only boating talk show on 660 AM The Answer every Saturday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Brought to you by BoatSelect.com, the site with thousands of boats for sale, or list your boat for free on BoatSelect.com. I know you have questions about your boat or one you're buying. Email those questions to me at BigBoatShow@yahoo.com.
For almost 2 decades, financial advisor and educator Rick Poston with Empowered Wealth Financial Services has provided peace of mind to thousands who see or hear him in the media or read his work. Rick has been chosen by Bloomberg Business Week magazine as one of the top 20 game-changing financial advisors in the country. A fan of Rick's profound teaching, Brian Tracy, world-renowned business leader, speaker, and best-selling author, has asked Rick to co-author his newest book entitled The Winning Way, where Rick will share with his fans some of the principles that allow Rick's clients to continue on their winning way. If you're looking to break away from that same old investment plan that has provided you with one too many disappointments, stay tuned to 660 AM The Answer every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock for the most educational hour on financial talk radio with Empowered Wealth Radio, live. Or call 469-361-4020.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question. Why is your mobile phone bill going to help Hillary become president of the United States? Answer is, same reason Big Mobile helped Obama win twice. It's what they do. Now Hillary's counting on Big Mobile to help her in 2016. If you're okay with that, don't listen further. But if you don't want to support Hillary or other leftist candidates and causes, switch to EOS Mobile. EOS Mobile. Website is EOScell, EOScell.com to learn more. EOS has the same great nationwide network, high-speed data, voice, pretty much everywhere across the country. EOS has the same devices you've come to love. And with plans starting at $9.99, a plan for every budget. Best of all, EOS Mobile at EOScell.com gives 5% of each bill to conservative causes and candidates. If you're stuck in a contract, they'll buy you out. If you want your phone bill to support conservative candidates, the choice is clear. EOScell.com. Learn more now at EOScell.com. EOScell.com. Same phones, same service, better causes. EOScell.com. EOSCELL.com.
Every month, Heather Cook helps dozens of people file claims for life insurance bought through SelectQuote. The stories she tells are inspiring. Like this one about Joe, a 39-year-old research analyst. Joe was healthy, but with a wife and 2 sons, he realized he needed life insurance just in case. Joe called SelectQuote. His agent, Scott, shopped a number of highly rated term life companies, and though Joe's budget was tight, got him a $1 million policy he could afford. Last April, Joe died from heart failure. But thanks to his life insurance through SelectQuote, his family can keep the house, and the boys can go to college. See how affordable SelectQuote can make just in case for you.
For a free quote, call 1-800-700-1773. 1-800-700-1773. 1-800-700-1773. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop. You save.
Hi, I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Our motto is to do the right thing. In some respects, it's hard being the company that always does the right thing. But for our customers' sake, it's very important that we do. Being fully insured, as an example, costs us a lot of money, but it protects our customers. Having employees instead of day laborers is a huge responsibility, but our dedicated employees ensure that we do the best repairs we can. Managing a large office staff can be tedious, but they provide our customers a helpful voice when they need something urgent. Returning every phone call is time-consuming, but instills our customers with confidence that we will always be there when they need us. The Aggie Code of Honor states that Aggies don't lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those that do. That code was the principle our company was founded on, and it guides our daily operations. If this sounds like the kind of company you could trust to repair your foundation, call us today for a free evaluation at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
Lads, clearing out weeds is all about give and take. Hello, this is Scott for Scots. And what I mean is, you want to take those pesky weeds out, but to keep them out, you need to give your grass something in return, which is exactly what Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed does. It kills weeds while it feeds in thick and dure grass to help crowd out future invasions. To learn more about Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, go to scotts.com. Weed your lawn and feed it.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report, a daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Concerned Veterans of America, really, really important organization. We have supported Concerned Veterans for America for a long time. And Dan Caldwell is about to join us. He enlisted in the United States Marine Corps as an infantryman during basic training. He was selected for the Marine Corps Presidential Support Team, in which he served as a member of the Marine Security Forces at Marine Barracks, Washington, and the Presidential Retreat at Camp David. Upon completing his tour at Camp David, Dan was assigned to 2nd Battalion 1st Marines, where he served as an infantry team leader, squad leader, and vehicle commander. He deployed to Iraq with 2nd Battalion 1st Marines in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and conducted operations in Al-Anbar and Ninawa provinces. He is joining us to spend some time talking about something that he desperately wants some help with, and we should help him with it. It has to do with the VA Accountability Act. If you care about veterans, you need to stick around with us, because Dan Caldwell from Concerned Veterans for America, the legislative director for that organization, is going to join us and talk to us about a bill that simply must be passed. We'll get the very latest on it and find out whether or not we're going to be able to get this through the House as we speak with Dan Caldwell next. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Are you ready to experience Israel?
Every once in a while, an opportunity to do something truly special comes along. An opportunity for an unforgettable and timely expedition to the land of Israel. This year, be a part of the Stand with Israel tour. Spend 9 days this fall in the fascinating and dramatic land of Israel with Mike Gallagher and Dennis Prager. Enjoy first-class accommodations and meals in comfort and safety. Visit 660amtheanswer.com for all the details and to register now. That's 660amtheanswer.com.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
From Plano to Denton down to Louisville too. Huffines has it. Also in McKinney, we'll prove it to you. Huffines has it.
Mr. Ray Huffines.
We truly believe because we are family owned and family run, we go the extra mile for you at Huffines.
And now at both locations of family-owned and family-run Huffines Chevrolet in Plano and Louisville, we'll go the extra mile for you with our biggest July savings ever on every new Huffines Chevrolet car, truck, and SUV in stock. Plus, Huffines saves you even more with the highest cash rebates and lowest financing available and top dollar for your trade. In Plano, see Ray Huffines Chevrolet at Coit Road and Plano Parkway. And in Louisville, Huffines Chevrolet on I-35. For more, click to huffines.net. Chevy, find new roads.
Need a tractor for tough jobs? Do more for less with a Kubota L-Series compact tractor. Forged from our proven design and highest quality materials, Kubota has been committed to building the industry's best compact tractors for decades. Get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years during our More Power to You sales event. That's value. That's Kubota. Financing available through Kubota Credit Corporation USA. Call toll-free 1-888-465-8268 for details about costs and terms. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. James Holmes is found guilty of murder in the movie theater massacre. 12 were killed, 70 wounded 3 years ago in Aurora, Colorado.
Some victims and their family members cried as Judge Carlos Moore read the verdict. So did some jurors. James Holmes stood there without any expression.
There's a weight lifted that I didn't even know was there and that I've been carrying around for 3 years, and I've just learned to live with this weight, and now all of a sudden I feel lighter even.
And Jansen Young was injured in the movie theater. Her boyfriend, Jonathan Blunk, was killed trying to protect her.
Fox Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. The investigation into today's domestic terror attack on 2 military facilities in Chattanooga, Tennessee continues.
It's going to be a long night, by the way, for FBI investigators. They are inside the compound there. They will be going through all of the forensics of what happened during the day. We're told that the FBI command center in Knoxville is still up and running and will be likely all night.
Fox's John Roberts. 4 Marines are dead, 3 wounded. The gunman was killed. Fox News. We report, you decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer.
Okay, you're on. We are here live from Niagara Falls for this year's Spring Festival. Wait, what?
That'll do it.
Great job, Will. You two, what are you doing?
Sorry, Canada. You had a leak.
Look, it's Will Nell and Fred Thompson from American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Guys, come over here. Come here. All right. Here with me now are the guys with American Leak Detection. Please explain yourselves.
Well, at American Leak Detection, we have been detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home for more than 25 years, big or small.
And all without damaging your home. We can even repair leaks in your swimming pools. Hey, looks like DFW needs us. Just go to AmericanLeakDetection.com to schedule us to come out. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
I'm a mother. When my kids were growing up, I can't tell you how many times they had a cold, an ear, or sinus infection. I already knew it was the same thing one of the other kids had 3 months before. Could I get a doctor to call me at home? No, I had to take off work or worse, bundle all the other kids and go to the doctor's office. Well, not anymore. RealMedSavings.com is like a discount club for healthcare. At RealMedSavings.com, you just call the 800 number and a board-certified doctor calls you back in about 15 minutes, talks to you about what it is, and then calls in a prescription if it's needed. You pay nothing for this doctor's call because you're a member of the club. RealMedSavings.com is not insurance, just real savings on everyday medical problems for your whole family. Go to RealMedSavings.com. Save money and time. RealMedSavings.com. It's worth going there.
You installed antivirus software to protect your computer. You've subscribed to an identity theft monitoring service to protect your personal information. But have you considered protecting your family? What if something happened to you? How would your family make ends meet? Protect your loved ones and their future with an American National Term Life Insurance policy. American National offers simple-to-understand policies that are flexible and affordable. Plus, your rates are locked in for the term you choose. You have important people in your life. Protect them for as little as $1 per day. Call American National at 888-895-9673. That's 888-895-9673 for a quick quote or apply online at AnicoLife.com. That's ANICO-Life.com. And take 10 minutes to secure your loved one's future. American National has been insuring families since 1905. Call now, 1-888-895-9673, or go to AnicoLife.com, ANICO-Life.com.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-651-4888. That's 800-651-4888. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis right now. Call 800-651-4888. 800-651-4888. 800-651-4888.
Did you know by age 50, half of all men have an enlarged prostate? This means more trips to the bathroom, longer time in the bathroom, waking at night to go, or issues in your romantic life. If this sounds familiar, call us now, because we're shipping free bottles of Super Beta Prostate to listeners of this station. Super Beta Prostate is a non-prescription formula guaranteed to reduce the symptoms of your enlarged prostate. It's yours free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-952-3467. In clinical trials, the ingredient in Super Beta Prostate was shown to reduce urges to use the bathroom, speed up bathroom trips, reduce waking at night to go, and improve quality of life. This Super Beta Prostate free offer is for listeners of this station, but it won't last. Don't wait. Just call 1-800-952-3467. That's 1-800-952-3467. Call 1-800-952-3467.
Are you concerned that there's another bear market coming? The 2008 stock market crash wiped out 12 years of gains in just 17 months. The time to protect yourself is now.
This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
If you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss it. 7 p.m. Tuesday, July 21st in McKinney, 7 p.m. Thursday, July 23rd, Fort Worth, or 1 p.m. Saturday, July 25th, Plano. Don't wait. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. I want to thank you very much for being a part of this radio broadcast. I want to thank you very much for listening, especially now. I don't know whether you heard this or read about this, but an internal Veterans Affairs Department report states that about 1/3 of the veterans waiting to receive medical care from the VA medical system have already died. A review of the veteran death records provided to Huffington Post and reprinted, by the way, in The Hill found that as of April, 847,822 veterans were awaiting health care, and that of those, 238,647 were already dead. The report was handed over by Scott Davis, a program specialist at the VA's Health Eligibility Center in Atlanta. He also sent copies to the House and Senate VA panels and to the White House. I don't know what those organizations are going to do about that horrifying piece of information, but I have friends. I have friends in the Concerned Veterans for America. One of them joins me now. He graduated cum laude in 2011 from Arizona State University with degrees in international studies, political science, and Asian history. He is a United States Marine. He joins us. He is Dan Caldwell. And before we go any further, Leatherneck, I'm sorry about the loss of your four brothers today.
Yeah, it's terrible, and even worse. Apparently, one of them was wounded twice in combat overseas. And when you expect to come home, you expect to be safe in a reserve center. But it just shows that we are truly in a global war on terrorism.
There's no doubt about it. We live life in a war zone, and it's time that our reality catches up with the victims of these kinds of attacks.
Yeah, and we need to really get in the mentality here that the new lone wolf style of attack means that it can happen anywhere, anytime. It doesn't mean that we sacrifice our liberties or we turn into a police state, but you need to have the mentality of that this is truly a global war. It's not happening in Iraq. It's not happening in Syria. It's happening right here at home, unfortunately.
You're exactly right. By the way, it's not the first time something like this would happen. I remember a nation that went to war in World War II, and everybody played their part. It's time for us to adopt that attitude as well. That's what I think, Dan. I don't know about you.
I agree, absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about what you've got going on. When I saw the report in The Hill, as reprinted from the Huffington Post, that of 847,822 veterans awaiting health care, half of those, or excuse me, 1/3 of those, 238,647 were already deceased. I almost cried.
It's a disturbing report. When you dig into it, and what those numbers actually mean is that in a lot of cases that these individuals didn't complete their applications for health care, or actually, to tell you the truth, we don't know if they completed them or not. A lot of these individuals could have started the process and didn't finish. They probably didn't finish because they weren't given the right information by the VA to finish them up. Now, it's kind of bizarre to me because the VA has been pushing very hard to get more veterans into the VA healthcare system. Even with all these access issues that we've had, even with the secret wait lists and problems that were exposed last year at VA hospitals. The reason why they want more people in the system so they can go to Congress and justify their more funding, and also justify, say, hey, the current system needs to be preserved. And so that if there is, the veteran population is shrinking, so that they have enough veterans in the system that can justify its current size and structure. However, as you see, the VA has had very serious problems processing initial applications to get into the system. And we've had these veterans that have died, yet their applications are still pending. And the bottom line is this, is that we aren't going to know for a while, because you're going to have to dig through just about every application, how many of these veterans really did need care. It could be hundreds, it could be fewer, dozens, it could be thousands, and fortunately tens of thousands. And that's very scary. At the minimum, this has revealed more incompetence in the VA. At worst, we could have a scandal that could make what happened with the wait list last year look like almost nothing.
Well, that is exactly my point. My point in this is that nobody knows, and it's ridiculous that nobody knows. I understand why nobody knows, because the government cannot do this. They cannot actually successfully do these things. The VA needs to revert to being a procurement agency. What they need to do is they need to issue contracts in various regions of the United States that provide medical care for our veterans, and they need to then become an enforcement agency that advocates for those veterans instead of tries to actually treat them, because we've seen they can't do it.
In their current structure, they can't do it, and you're absolutely right. Now, regards to the private care contracts idea, they actually have done that, but Dave, here's the thing, is that they aren't using them And in the cases that they are using them, they're the patients that are going through these care contracts called the patient-centered community care contracts. They're running into the same issues that run into the system. And the reason why is because it's the same VA bureaucrats controlling access to those programs that are in the private sector that are also controlling access to regular VA hospitals.
Let the contractors handle that. Don't depend on a VA bureaucracy that has shown itself to be worse than incompetent. It's negligent and criminal.
Yes, and that that's something that the CBA has long explored and advocated is new and different ways for veterans to receive health care and removing the VA bureaucrat from that equation.
We absolutely have to do that, and I'm so glad that you guys are pushing through the VA Accountability Act. That was supposed to be marked up to today or yesterday. What happened with it? Tell us the very latest on the VA Accountability Act.
Well, this is a common sense bill, and all your listeners would say that this just makes sense. What it does is it gives the VA secretary the ability to immediately remove and fire somebody from the VA, meaning they remove them from the payroll, they're no longer paid, if they've been found to have engaged in misconduct or they are incompetent. Now, right now, that process is not immediate. So if they find somebody who's guilty of misconduct and they start the termination process, it can take months and years. Even before that, there's usually a long investigation in pulling together evidence. This bill would shorten that process drastically, allow for more rapid firings, would allow the VA secretary to get rid of more of a lot of these bad apples that are still infesting the VA system. As of today, according to House VA Committee, only 2 people have been fired for the VA waitlist scandal last year, and you had 2/3 of major VA medical facilities engaging in some type of waitlist manipulation. That's 100 hospitals, and only 2 people have actually been fired for that as of today. That's unacceptable. Now, it's a common sense bill, not common sense to government, which is why you have, unfortunately, some government unions opposing it. So what happened in committee is, unfortunately, you had about 10 members of the House VA Committee vote against this bill, and I was there. I was in the room when it happened. It was very clear they were voting against it because they had received pressure for some of these government unions. And
they had. I'm sorry, they had received. I'm sorry, they had received what?
That were pressure from these government unions.
Oh, I
the
see.
Government unions are opposing it. Some of your employee unions.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the SEIU's involved in this again.
Not the SEIU, the American Federation of Government Employees, but they're all linked together. The AFL-CIU, they might get involved at some point.
Okay, all right. I'm glad you told me that because I'll get to work from my end. So when you sit there and you're going through this, so what's the status of the bill? Is it gone?
The bill passed the House Committee 14-10, and it's going to the full House. And there will be a vote at the end of July on this bill. And it will probably be closer than some of the other VA bills that we've had in recent memory, but it will likely pass the House. But the real battle will be in the Senate and seeing whether or not the president will actually sign it.
The only thing that I can say is that this is going to require more conversations like this. By the way, we're speaking with Dan Caldwell. He is the legislative director for the Concerned Veterans of America, an organization you need to know more about. You can find out more about it by going to CV4A. That's CV, the number 4A.org. You need to work with these people and help them out because they're doing God's work. Literally, they're doing God's work. So when we look at this and we say, okay, so these federal employees unions that are only looking for maintaining an adequate number of employees so that they can collect dues from, there has to be some sort of illumination on the fact that their dues collecting process cannot stand in the way of people who fought for this nation and put their lives on the line, getting proper care that was promised to them.
Well, the optic is that on one side you have every major veteran group, with the exception of a few. That includes the not just CVA, the American Legion, which I'm a member of, the largest veteran group in the country, the VFW, Paralyzed Veterans for America, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, and vets. Military Officers Association. These major veteran organizations on one side have united to support this legislation. On the other, you have these Washington special interests that are only interested in one thing, and like you said, and that's protecting their dues-paying members. That's all they care about. They're trying to wrap themselves in the veteran flag. They're trying to accuse us of being anti-veteran. But the fact remains is that every major veteran group, with the exception of a few, is supporting this bill. And on one side you have veterans, on the other side you have Washington special interests and big government unions. That tells you all you need to know about what this bill does and what it aims to accomplish.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, this is ridiculous. What you've got to do, it's either that or you've got to abolish the VA and start over, because somebody has got to change this.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have an Oliver Cromwell here. You got to have an Oliver Cromwell moment for the VA to be able to clean this mess up.
Well, we proposed some reforms that would basically really change how the VA ultimately works. We don't want to destroy it or start from scratch, but really take it and in effect restructure it. And the most important thing we would do is in effect separate it from the VA healthcare system from the current Veterans Health Administration bureaucracy. So what that means is take the hospitals, turn them into a government non-profit corporation that gives them the ability to compete, that gives them the ability to do the things they need to do to succeed and compete with the private sector. But if they can't do it, then give veterans a real private healthcare choice through a premium support insurance plan, just like civilian VA employees have. I used to work for the federal government. You have the options to choose different health plans. Give veterans that option if the VA is not serving them.
Absolutely. We are speaking with Dan Caldwell, the legislative director for Concerned Veterans for America. He's been there. He's done that. He was assigned to 2nd Battalion 1st Marines, served as an infantry team leader, squad leader, vehicle commander. He served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. He is a stud, and he is joining us here on the Wells Report as we continue talking about the VA and this bill called the VA Accountability Act. It must be passed. Please write notes. Please go to cv4a.org. More with Dan Caldwell next. This is the Wells Report.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret that credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Debt Relief Advocates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now, 1-800-791-4933. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Debt Relief Advocates now and see how much money you could save for free. 1-800-791-4933. That's 1-800-791-4933. 1-800-791-4933.
Hi, this is Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report for Walt Parker at InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Save this date, July 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Join me at their dinner seminar at Papado Restaurant in Fort Worth. No fuss, no hassle. Great education on investment choices other than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities with a no-cost meal to boot. You'll learn why you should understand your investments and also why you should not invest anywhere until you do understand them. You'll also find out why they prefer the We Come to You service provided by InvestingMakesMeSick.com. To reserve your spot for this free seminar at Papado Restaurant in Fort Worth on July 23rd at 6:30 p.m., call 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833. Or register by logging on to InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Security and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. Member of FINRA SIPCI. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated. Investments subject to individual investor suitability and risk tolerance. Investments involve a high degree of risk, may be considered speculative, and may result in the entire loss of the amount invested. May also incur substantial fees and expenses which are borne by the investor.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List, and this is the Good Contractors List Word of the Month. There were two trees in the Garden of Eden, the tree of life, which represented complete dependence on God, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which represented man's attempt to be like God and make their own decisions. Throughout history, humanity has chosen to live life for themselves. Every decision is made based on their knowledge of what would make them feel good. God consistently cries out to every soul on earth, "Come to me and I will give you rest." And still man chooses to try to find rest on their own and keep God at arm's length. Choosing the tree of life means giving up control and following the direction of the Holy Spirit, no matter what that means. Are you surrendered to Jesus, or do you prefer to maintain control? Choose the tree of life. It's the only thing that satisfies. I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List.
The word of the month has been brought to you by thegoodcontractorslist.com.
You're on vacation when you feel it pop. Your tooth just broke. You're 1,000 miles from your regular dentist, so this is going to cost a small fortune, but not if you have the Dental and Vision Plus plan from MyDiscountHealth.com. Get discounts of 5 to 60% at participating providers all over the U.S. With MyDiscountHealth.com, save on routine exams, cleanings, even major work like dentures and root canals. The plan at MyDiscountHealth.com comes with discounts on prescription drugs, eyeglasses, and more, all for only $13 per month. Medicare doesn't cover dental work, so this is perfect for you. Learn more. Call 844-450-2273. That's 844-450-2273. This plan is not insurance. Members pay participating providers and receive discounts immediately. Savings will vary by provider and service. Cancel within 30 days and get a full refund less processing fee. Discount Medical Plan Organization is Carrington International Corp., Frisco, Texas. This plan is not available in all areas. Call 844-450-2273 or go to MyDiscountHealth.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I want to share with you one of the smartest things I ever did. A whole house full of windows from Statewide Remodeling. The benefits were instant. The house looked great. The resale value went way up. And the most important thing, I was saving money immediately on energy bills in the heat of the summer and the cold of the winter. Let me send you to StatewideRemodeling.com. In fact, StatewideRemodeling.com, or visit the showrooms in Irving or Collin Creek Mall in Plano. See the windows that I'm talking about. It's fantastic people doing great work and 50% off window installations and 100% financing with approved credit. The time is now to get your home energy efficient. Those builder's grade windows, you are leaking air conditioning out into the hot out of doors. Stop doing that. Get energy efficiency and beauty from windows with Statewide Remodeling. They've done so many things for me. I love them and you will too. StatewideRemodeling.com. Check them out. Give them a call, 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095. You will love your new windows from StatewideRemodeling.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. His name is Dan David Caldwell. I don't actually know what your middle name is, Dan.
You got it.
Is it really David?
Daniel David Caldwell.
It's good to have you here, my friend. You are the legislative director for Concerned Veterans for America. That's an organization that I discovered a little while back, and truly enjoy working with you, and I plan to do so for a lot longer. The VA Accountability Act has got to get shepherded through Congress, got to get through the Senate. You're the legislative director, and you're saying it's going to be a tough lift, right?
Well, it's not going to be a tough lift in the House. We think there's enough votes in the House to pass it. We got to make sure there's not any amendments added to it that water it down or try to change the bill, which unfortunately can happen. We think it's got the votes in the House. We want to make sure it has a good, solid vote so that it shows the Senate, which moves a lot slower, it's more deliberative, that there's real support here. And the real fight, we believe, will be ultimately in the Senate, but that doesn't mean we can ignore the House here. So if your listeners really want something like a common sense bill like this passed to help clean up the VA, they should call their Congress, their congressional representative, and make sure they're a co-sponsor, and then call their senators as well.
Absolutely.
But we think the big battle is going to be in the Senate.
Yeah, it absolutely is going to be in the Senate. It is ever thus. We're in kind of a position where we have to figure out, that we got to figure out how to change some stuff, and we have to do it because we're engaged. You know, this has been the acid test of American resolve this last 6 years, in my view. I just see way too much willingness to set aside Congress, and Congress needs to stop allowing that to happen. I realize that there are other issues involved. I know there are, except at the end of the day, when the rubber meets the road, it's about Americans taking care of America, as opposed to politicians taking care of the agenda.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And I think that's a fantastic way to set it up. And, you know, all Americans should care about what happens to the VA, not just simply because it takes care of our veterans, the people we ask to go into harm's way and defend our country, defend our values and the freedom and prosperity that we have in this country. At the end of the day, if you take all that out, the VA is the second largest federal department in terms of employees. It has trillions of dollars in liabilities going out, you know, in the next decades, and it's about $167 billion a year organization that's growing every year. This is a huge part of the budget, and quite frankly, the American people's money is not being managed properly. And as a result, veterans who the American taxpayer more than willing ponies up every year to take care of are being failed, and many are dying as a result. And that's one of many reasons why every American should care about this issue, whether they are in the military or not.
We discussed, we started this conversation by finding out the horrifying news that one of the Marines killed today was a Marine twice decorated with Purple Hearts for his work on behalf of America. As we end this conversation, we cannot allow those veterans who put their lives on the line for this amazing country to get back home and then be forsaken. It just can't happen. Dan Caldwell, how do people find out more about what you're up to?
Go to CV4, the number 4, a.org. Follow us on Facebook at Concerned Veterans for America and Twitter at Concerned Vets. Those are the best ways to get involved. We're having a Defend Freedom tour coming around the country. If it's already come through your area, likely come through again next year.
I can hardly wait. Dan.
Yeah, it's a great event.
Thanks very much, Legislative Director for Concerned Veterans of America, Dan Caldwell. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Dennis Prager gets rough on Bernie Sanders.
To call yourself a socialist in the United States at this time, with the record of socialist parties in Europe and in Latin America, is to be a moral idiot. The people who go to his rallies are moral idiots. You have no moral compass if you support socialism in the United States of America.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Michael Medved for townhall.com. During the 4th of July holiday, some supporters of the Confederate battle flag asked why Americans celebrate the colonists breaking away from Britain, but condemn the attempt by Southerners to separate from the federal government. Actually, a key slogan of the revolution was no taxation without representation. But Southerners were well represented in Washington, D.C. and dominated the government most of the time before the Civil War. Among the 15 presidents before Lincoln, a big majority, 9 of them, were from the South. Of the 5 presidents who won election from northern states, every single one of them had a Southern vice president. Southerners were also overrepresented in the House of Representatives because their 4 million slaves counted as 3/5 of a person for apportionment purposes under a notorious constitutional compromise, even though they weren't allowed to vote. American independence has been a blessing, but Southern secession was a tragic, ill-conceived mistake. I'm Michael Medved.
Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY in Dallas Baptist University, welcome Matt Redman. Sunday, July 26th, Matt Redman at First Baptist Church in Louisville. With 2 Grammy Awards, Matt Redman's songs are heard around the world. Now you and your family have an opportunity to see Matt Redman in concert Sunday, July 26th at First Baptist Church in Louisville. Get your tickets now at itickets.com. This will be his only North Texas appearance, so don't wait. Get your tickets to see international recording artist and songwriter Matt Redman. Go to itickets.com. Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY in Dallas Baptist University, welcome Matt Redman.
We've been hearing a lot about Uber lately, so we decided to get out there and talk to some actual Uber partners to get our questions answered.
Is signing up to drive with Uber really hard?
Nope, signing up with Uber is super easy.
It was simple and easy. Okay, but can I drive my own car?
Yes. You get to drive your own car.
But my roommate doesn't even have a car. Can she drive with Uber?
They can help her get a car too.
I wouldn't be able to get a vehicle if it wasn't for Uber. It took me less than 6 hours to get a car.
So you could just sign up and earn money.
Sign up, drive, and you make some money.
You're saying I can just use the smartphone app to make money whenever I want?
Yeah, you just open the app whenever you feel like driving.
All I have to do is turn on my phone, hit the road, and I start making money.
Are the hours good?
I work less hours and I make more money.
I'm my own boss now, so I set my own hours.
Okay, this all sounds pretty great. What do you think I should do?
You need to sign up for Uber.
You can make serious life-changing money when you drive with Uber. Get started today at drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com. drivewithuber.com.
Rembrandt Rockefeller for Sovereign European Sleep Systems. If you've been mattress shopping lately, then you know the stores around here are pretty much all the same, with the same mix of brands and models, not to mention all the confusing pricing. But there's one mattress store in town that's very different. It's Sovereign European Sleep Systems. Designed for deeper, more restful sleep, custom tailored for a vastly more comfortable fit with a full 10-year non-prorated warranty. Get your money's worth. European quality and components at Made in America prices. Sovereign European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at SOVN.com.
Square Trade does not cover lost or stolen items. Savings based on 2-year iPhone plan with one claim compared to Asurion total equipment coverage as of April 10th, 2015.
Don't overpay for phone insurance. Save with Square Trade phone protection instead. Phone insurance from Verizon, Sprint, or other wireless carriers can cost you as much as $11 every month, plus up to a $199 deductible when you break your phone. Square Trade phone protection is less than $5 a month. We can save you over $240.
Start saving with Square Trade now. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a home inspector who needs friends. Yeah, so these studs need to be 1/4 inch further apart, give or take half an inch. It's got to be just right, you know, like the coverage Progressive provides for your construction business. Otherwise, I'll have to shut you guys down. But if I do, maybe you could come out for Tuesday trivia. Fair warning, I'm kind of a know-it-all. You'll see what I mean at board game night. Hey, what's your number?
Commercial insurance that's perfect for your small business. Visit progressivecommercial.com to learn more. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. 20 years ago, I picked up the phone and called this guy. He was a very influential man in the world of radio, and he's been my friend, my close friend, ever since. He is not here tonight. He is in the country of Haiti. He's calling from refugee camps along the border with the Dominican Republic, where so far over 30,000 men, women, and children have been forced to go across the border by Dominican Republic authorities. What is going on down there in a place that has had its share, more than its share, of humanitarian disasters? Tom Tradup, welcome to the Wells Report from Haiti tonight. Tell us a little bit about what's going on down there.
Well, thanks, Jon-David, and thanks for the kind words. I do consider you a friend, and so do the people of Haiti, because you've helped many times in the past with food for the poor. That's the group that we're embedded with here in Port-au-Prince. But it's kind of hard to explain this, because most people, and the folks who listen to the Wells Report or who listen to 660 AM The Answer, are obviously folks who are very interested in the news, some of it good, some of it tragic, like what happened in Chattanooga today.
Unbelievable.
But they're up on what happens, because that's what we do. We talk about what's happening in the news. So when they scheduled this emergency trip and asked me if I would come down here for a couple of days and visit these refugee camps along the border with the Dominican Republic, I said, sure, but what is it? Because I didn't know what had happened. The mainstream media, as you know, do a pretty lousy job of covering the really important things. What they like to talk about are things that, you know, make the telephones ring on your show. And I'm not saying that it isn't good to occasionally discuss the Confederate flag or Donald Trump or whatever, but they tend not to cover the real issues that are real life and death things, like what's happening here. Basically, it boils down to, without getting into all the X's and O's of how the Dominican Republic government works, they're the neighboring country to Haiti. They share this island nation here in the Caribbean. It's about 90-minute flight from Fort Lauderdale to get here. And Haiti is the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere, no question, not even a close call. And you'll recall that back in 2010, Haiti lost about 200,000 people, Jon-David, when the massive earthquake hit here. That many people were killed. By the time this thing is over with, and you mentioned the number just a minute ago, so far there are 30,000 people who have been forced to leave the Dominican Republic and are now living in these makeshift refugee camps here in Haiti. But before they get done, they may exceed that 200,000 number. So in essence, the poorest nation in the world would exchange the same amount of people that died in that massive earthquake, and they're still rebuilding from that. It's not like this is a modern industrialized nation. It's a nation that's still on its knees from the big earthquake. And suddenly they've got 30,000 more people that they have to figure out what to do with no food, no water, and no medical supplies. So that's essentially the situation.
So as they come to these camps, and they're just badly staffed, or badly handled from a standpoint of what infrastructure is there. What you're doing is you're trying to marshal efforts to bring all of that necessary infrastructure to these camps so these people have a little better place to live. Heaven forbid that sickness be the next thing that shows up. And that's usually what happens in these circumstances. Tell us how we can actually help. Tell us what we can do to help these people get through this.
Well, there are a couple of things, and thank you again for the opportunity to address your audience. Number one thing is to tell people about what's happening in Haiti. You can Google Dominican Republic, Haiti crisis. You may find an article or two, but literally nobody's covering this. And it's kind of scary. Now, there is one guy who drew attention to it earlier this week. He's one of the GOP presidential candidates. Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida, held a hearing on Wednesday on Capitol Hill, and he said and made it pretty plain that this crisis here in the Haiti, Nicaragua, I keep saying Nicaragua, Haiti, Dominican Republic border needs to be on the radar for Americans. Here's part of what he had to say.
Currently, thousands of Haitians and Dominicans of Haitian descent living in the Dominican Republic face possible expulsion due to a recent Dominican court ruling. I am concerned that a possible mass migration between these two countries will create a humanitarian crisis, which Haiti lacks the resources to cope with. My office has been in contact with the State Department on this issue and has continued to receive regular updates to ensure the human rights are protected.
And then that's just very, very important that this get taken care of quickly, because as you were discussing, 30,000 men, women, and children have been forced across the border. From what I understand, because of this court ruling, there are hundreds of thousands more waiting.
That's right, and they're really tragic. It's men, women, and obviously lots of children. We spent today with an awful lot of kids who are just like yours or mine. They're sweet little kids that are trapped in the middle of this bureaucratic fight between these two countries, and they're essentially forced into these refugee camps, and it's pretty scary. And so what we can do, to answer your question, is ask people if they would dig deep, maybe pick up the telephone, dial toll-free. It's not an 800 number, but it is toll-free. It's 844-863-HOPE. So again, area code is 844-863-HOPE. That's the direct number for Project Hope, for Food for the Poor. But there's also an easier way. If you have a smartphone, you just hit pound 250, and when it asks for the code word, you tell them Haiti, and that will connect you directly. Or you can go, and just use the regular number, which is again 844-863-HOPE. And it would be great if you could do that. I know that most people, we're about to put a son into college this fall. We're dealing with all the issues of last-minute family vacations over the summer, the kinds of things that happen in North Texas. Somebody listening may have just had their air conditioner go out. There are a million things that we can find to spend our money on that are important. And I'm not trying to guilt anybody into this, but it would be great if, as they've done so many times, your listeners would maybe find it in their hearts to skip going to Bahama Bucks or Chick-fil-A for maybe one meal and put that $15 or $20 into saving some lives and really turning things around here in Haiti. It would mean so much to the people here.
You know, that is something that people don't realize, that if everybody within the sound of my voice right this very minute would send 10, 15 bucks, you know, that would be a huge piece of what's necessary for these people to be able to get through another few days, another week or two, to be able to make their lives a little bit better, because this is one of those situations where politics before reality, you know, for whatever reason, policy has to triumph over people sometimes.
Absolutely right. And one of the people that we met today is a pastor who is letting the refugees stay in a school that he operates at his church in remote Haiti. But that's only going to last until school returns in August, and then he's going to have to push them out and shove them. They'll be having to go further into the rural areas here. And he feels bad about it. He's had pressure from the local mayor to get them going. These people are sort of nomads at this point for no reason other than that there's a bureaucratic battle between these two countries. And while they sort all of that out, you know, it's one of the things that we like to do is to bring to people's attention ways that we can help our fellow man. We're all God's children, and we just ask that if anybody is interested, they would pick up the phone and dial 844-863-HOPE. Maybe, as you say, Jon-David, put in $10, $15. You know, if you could spare 50 or 100, it would significantly impact what Food for the Poor can do down here in Haiti.
We have done an awful lot of work with Food for the Poor. They've done great work for lots of people around the world, and so when we start thinking about all this stuff, you know, you're dealing with an organization that once again has been there and has done that. You know, what interests me is once again, Haiti is the poorest country easily in the Western Hemisphere, and it is a country that just has a terrible time. I mean, if it's not natural disaster, it's disease. If it's not either of those two, then it's outright governmental corruption. I mean, you know, when you sit there and you say, okay, you know, these people are in desperate straits, and I will send what I can send, and so on. What do you suppose what's it gonna take to be able to get this country on its feet again?
I can't answer that, and some of it has to do with, frankly, the internecine battles within this country. You know, the Haitian government, they're having elections in August, and we'll see what happens. But all of the presidents of Haiti, the current president, as well as Aristide, who was there, obviously sure. the Duvaliers in the bad old days. I mean, Food for the Poor has been on the ground for 30 or more years, working to help people here, and they have the bodies, they have the infrastructure, they have the boots on the ground. And as this struggling country, which again it's a 90-minute plane flight from Florida, you imagine getting up on this morning, which I did about 3 a.m., heading to the airport in Fort Lauderdale, going through customs, and then griping that the coffee shop wasn't open in the airport before we had to take off. I mean, that's what most people consider to be an emergency in their lives. Oh, man, I can't get my morning coffee. Now you've got a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old little girl who's crying because she doesn't know where her next meal is coming from. It kind of puts that all in perspective. And your listeners, unfortunately, can't see this, or maybe fortunately, because it's heartbreaking. If you're a dad like you and I are, it just breaks your heart to see these kids in this situation. But, you know, that's not their fault. It's a battle that's going on and probably will go on for centuries in this part of the world. But our immediate task is to try and do our best to help these people as best we can through this immediate crisis. It's a real humanitarian crisis in the truest sense of the word. And that's why we appreciate so much the opportunity to talk to the listeners of the Wells Report this evening and just say, if you can, again, open your heart, open your pocketbook. If you could throw in $5, $10, maybe 25 or 50. It would mean just the world to the men, women, and children who are refugees from the Dominican Republic here in Haiti.
When you say it would mean the world, it quite literally does mean the world, because these people do not know what their future holds, even for the next few days or weeks. Tom Tradup, our guest, Vice President of News and Talk Programming, Salem Radio Network, is also in Haiti right this minute, working with Food for the Poor, working with the men, women, and children who have been forced back across the Dominican Republic border to Haiti. And it doesn't make any difference about their status. And the heavy-handed movement of these people sometimes occurs in the middle of the night. And husbands and wives and families are separated. And good heavens, how does that get resolved? Well, Food for the Poor can do what they can do, but what they can do is make sure that food and water is there. You can do it several different ways. You can hit pound 250 on your smartphone. You can use the code word Haiti, Haiti, and they'll put you in touch with some people that will help with Food for the Poor. Or you can call 844-863-4673. That is 844-863-HOPE. 844-863-4673. You can also go to 660amtheanswer.com. Tom Tradup, I've admired your work around not just places like Haiti, but lots of other places. You travel and make sure that there are people that not just are nourished physically, but also nourished spiritually as well. And it is a privilege to have you here on the Wells Report. And thanks very much for letting us know what's going on down here, because the mainstream media just isn't going to tell the story.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jon-David. And, not to beat them up too much, there is a limited amount of time, and there are things that, unfortunately, like what happened in Chattanooga today, are going to take the bulk of the headlines and should in our country. But let's think outside the box a little bit, see if we can't do something and step outside of our immediate concerns and the immediate crises on Capitol Hill or around the country, and maybe help some people to get a hand up.
That would be a wonderful idea. Do without a Starbucks tomorrow. Help 30,000 men, women, and children, maybe 100,000 more as the Dominican Republic removes people that are living in their country for whatever reasons in an illegal way, or living in a legal way that has been rescinded. And what is ending up happening is these people are living in these very seriously, badly set up refugee camps. They need food and they need water, and you can help. Call pound 250 on your smartphone. Use the word Haiti. Call 844-863-4673, 844-863-HOPE. Thanks very much for listening. Thank you, Tom Tradup. We'll be back with more of the Wells Report in just a moment.
To put it lightly, Sean Hannity doesn't like the deal with Iran.
This is the dumbest thing that any president I can think of has ever done. No breakthrough. We couldn't even get the 4 Americans for the $150 billion you're going to give these radical Islamists. What a fool this president is. He's just an utter, it's inexplicable. Inexplicable to me how dumb he is.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-651-4888. That's 800-651-4888. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis right now. Call 800-651-4888. 800-651-4888. 800-651-4888.
Finally, the rain appears to be over and summer is upon us. The recent rains have caused the clay soil to expand and raise some homes with foundation problems, making them appear to be fixed. I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Listen. Heavy rain swelling the clay soil and raising homes with foundation problems is like pumping air into a tire with a slow leak. It may look like the tire is fixed, but it is still leaking air and will eventually go flat again. If you think this might be happening with your home, call Structured Foundation Repairs today for a free, comprehensive evaluation of your foundation. We'll let you know if you have a foundation problem or if you're just experiencing normal seasonal movement. We'll also check to see if you have a drainage problem around your home and make recommendations if the drainage should be improved. We're fully insured and our peers come back by a lifetime transferable warranty. So if you have questions about your foundation or think you might have a drainage problem, call Structured Foundation Repairs today at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
What does heat mean to Dallas-Fort Worth? It means higher utility bills. It means more wear and tear on your air conditioner. The Texas heat means more heat coming through your windows. Hi, I'm Dave Traynor from The Window Connection. That's right. Your window is actually radiating heat to the inside of the house. Just conducting a full-fledged war against your air conditioning and your nice, cool AC. Well, just the other day, I was on a house. You know, it was only 95 degrees outside, but the windowsill was actually 108 degrees. That's right. It was 108 degrees inside the house. Once I put in a new window that had heat reflective glass and argon gas, I actually got that windowsill temperature to drop all the way down to normal room temperature. And I can do the same thing for you.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
Okay, you're on. We're here live from Niagara Falls for this year's Spring Festival. Wait, what?
That'll do it.
Great job, Will. You two, what are you doing?
Sorry, Canada. You had a leak.
Look, it's Will Nell and Fred Thompson from American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Guys, come over here. Come here. All right. Here with me now are the guys with American Leak Detection. Please explain yourselves.
Well, at American Leak Detection, we have been detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home for more than 25 years, big or small.
And all without damaging your home. We can even repair leaks in your swimming pools. Hey, looks like DFW needs us. Just go to AmericanLeakDetection.com to schedule us to come out. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
Inventory is everything. Products sitting on shelves is money sitting on shelves. Managing our inventory is key. That's why I use Keep Stock Solutions from Grainger. Keep Stock Solutions help keep just the right amount of inventory on hand. Keep Stock Solutions help keep the cost down. Keep Stock Solutions keep me a happy camper. What's the key to better inventory management? Keep Stock Solutions from Grainger. Get it? Got it? Good. Visit Grainger.com/keepstock for more information. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Thanks very much for joining us here on the Wells Report at 866-660-5759. Remember Marilyn Tavenner? Marilyn Tavenner was the nincompoopette that was in charge of putting together healthcare.gov for Obamacare. Remember how all that imploded and turned into a giant heap of radioactive slag under all of our feet? What? Oh, okay. Anyway, she got fired, and this is hard. Okay, when you start thinking about all the nincompoopage that have current positions in the Obama administration, to actually get fired is really difficult. But she accomplished it. And you would think that she would finish her career as well as a computer salesman at Best Buy. But that's not the case. No! The Board of America's Health Insurance Plans, the top trade group for the health insurance industry, has appointed Tavenner as the next president and CEO. You know why? Well, because they're all incredibly tired of working for a living, and they want somebody to run their entire endeavor into the weeds. Well, they couldn't get anybody better. They found Marilyn Tavenner. Let's see. Hey, Bill? Yes, Dan. Listen, if we want to take our own industry out, what's the best way of doing it? Oh, get Tavenner. Tavenner, she can't even set up a website. Fine, done. Well, that's one more special interest group that'll take itself out of the game. So say congratulations to Marilyn Tavenner when you have a moment. This is the Wells Report.
Each week and every Saturday afternoon, whether you're remodeling an existing house or building a new one, doing it yourself or hiring a professional, we're here to bring you interviews with the experts and take your phone.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Back in the olden days, the United States of America was constitutionally compliant. Now, in the enlightened new age, we are now LGBTQRSPTUVWXYZ compliant. Okay, let me try that again. That's actually funny. Back in the olden days, the United States of America was a republic that was constitutionally compliant. But now in the enlightened new age, we are LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ compliant. I don't know what all that means, except for the fact that the Supreme Court of the United States has turned everybody in this country over to the LGBT lobby. Just how bad is it? Can you say your kid's school? Next. We'll talk about it next time on the Wells Report. No? Yes? Mark Davis, good morning, my friend. We're going to be speaking. Mark Davis, good Friday morning, doing that great big radio. I'm not going to talk about that. Mark Davis, good Friday morning, my friend. Mike Ferris is going to join us. He is one of the original co-authors of the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, remember? Well, he is going to join us on the Wells Report to tell us a little bit more about the Supreme Court of the United States ruling regarding marriage and how it's actually going to affect how our kids are raised. I'm not kidding now. You know, the downstream effects of this ridiculous decision are getting worse every second. Mike Ferris will help tell us a little bit more about that and what we can do to make our lives and our kids' lives better as all this comes down on our heads. You're listening to, as all this comes down on our heads. We'll talk about it next time on the Wells Report.
Information, visit mathnasium.com or take the first step right now. Call 855-361-MATH. That's 855-361-6284.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group. On the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Steve Rappaport. The FBI investigating an attack at 2 military sites in Chattanooga, Tennessee. A gunman opened fire, killing 4 Marines. The suspect, born in Kuwait, was also killed.
All of our hearts go out to the families of the 4 Marines who lost their lives. In the middle of that, there has been some heroic action by the Marines who lost their lives and some others there at the facility who did everything they could to minimize the damage.
Governor Bill Haslam. In Colorado,
we, the jury, find the defendant, James Egan Holmes, guilty of murder in the first degree after deliberation.
They didn't buy his insanity defense.
Some of the victims and family members cried as the verdicts were read. James Holmes was found guilty of first-degree murder in all 12 murder counts, both after deliberation and with extreme indifference. That makes him eligible for the death penalty.
Fox Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. The penalty phase begins next week. This is a Fox News alert.
660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
This is Michael Medved for townhall.com. During the 4th of July holiday, some supporters of the Confederate battle flag asked why Americans celebrate the colonists breaking away from Britain, but condemn the attempt by Southerners to separate from the federal government. Actually, a key slogan of the revolution was no taxation without representation. But Southerners were well represented in Washington, D.C., and dominated the government most of the time before the Civil War. Among the 15 presidents before Lincoln, a big majority, 9 of them, were from the South. Of the 5 presidents who won election from northern states, every single one of them had a Southern vice president. Southerners were also overrepresented in the House of Representatives because their 4 million slaves counted as 3/5 of a person for apportionment purposes under a notorious constitutional compromise, even though they weren't allowed to vote. American independence has been a blessing, but Southern secession was a tragic, ill-conceived mistake. I'm Michael Medved.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a summertime question. Is your summer fun being hurt by DLS? Well, what's DLS, you may ask? Dysfunctional lens syndrome. Are you over 40, starting to experience poor near vision without your reading glasses, especially in low-light places like restaurants? If so, you might have DLS to blame, and it's frustrating. Pulling out the readers all the time, getting frustrated with suddenly bad reading vision or night vision. The team of surgeons at Kleiman Evangelist Eye Center, they've helped thousands of people overcome DLS, improve their vision, improve their lives. Starts with a phone call, 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020. Call now, get your DLS questions answered. You can even schedule a free consultation, no obligation, just some quality Q&A. That number again, 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020. Don't let DLS, dysfunctional lens syndrome, destroy your summer fun. 1-800-714-2020, Arlington and Plano, Kleiman Evangelist Eye Center. Learn more at LASIKsurgery.com.
Start your own business? They'll say you're crazy to put everything on the line to be your own boss, but not GoDaddy. We like that courageous, passionate kind of crazy, and we can help you put the idea or business you're crazy passionate about online. With our Get Online Today toolkit, you get a memorable domain name, a professional website, and a personalized email powered by Microsoft Office 365. Sound expensive? It's not. For a limited time, GoDaddy's Get Online Today toolkit is just $1 a month. Just $1. With the purchase of an annual plan, starting your dream business or putting your business online isn't crazy. Passing on GoDaddy.com's Get Online Today toolkit for only $1 a month? That's a little crazy. We've helped millions of small business owners, and we can help you too. Try the Get Online Today toolkit from GoDaddy.com and get a domain name, a website, and email for only $1 a month. Oh yeah, the web hosting and 24/7 live customer support, totally free. Check it out at GoDaddy.com/radio. That's GoDaddy.com/radio. Domain included with annual plan only. See site for details.
Hi, this is Jamie Woodridge of Berkey's Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical Services, now in our 40th year serving Metroplex homeowners. If you are like most people, your home is your biggest investment. Having every system in your home properly maintained so they all operate safely and efficiently is not only important, but helps keep your home's resale value high. Your air conditioning system is operating as it should, your plumbing always works, and your electrical system has been inspected. That's peace of mind. Berkey's Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical Services offers you that kind of peace of mind with an innovative plan. For one membership fee, all your systems will be kept in tip-top condition, and you will automatically receive special rewards and discounts. You no longer have to wonder if your air conditioning is really working as it should, or if those flickering lights are telling you there's a problem, or if the plumbing will work when company comes. Call 817-717-3885 and ask about Berkey's Peace of Mind plan, or visit us at berkeys.com. Berkey's, we're there when you need us.
License numbers TACLB 41879E and 38424, TECL 30739.
Rembrandt Rockefeller for Sovereign European Sleep Systems. Did you pay a lot for that, quote, top-of-the-line mattress, and is it already breaking down and uncomfortable? Time to look into a Sovereign European Sleep System. The Sovereign bed is simply a better bed, made with certified organic cotton and wool and 100% natural latex cushioning, never polyurethane, never memory foam. Custom tailored for greater comfort based on your size, weight, and primary sleeping positions. European quality and components at made-in-America prices. Sovereign European Sleep Systems, Inwood and Lovers in Dallas. Learn more at sovn.com.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. One of the most horrific tragedies in America is unfolding right before our very eyes. It is terrible and it is awful, and it surrounds a sacred cow of the left in America. And I normally don't do this, but we have been reaching out to presidential candidate Ben Carson because he is uniquely qualified to respond to this unbelievable circumstance that is it's unfolding right in front of us in the United States. It has to do with Planned Parenthood essentially using their late-term abortion laws and capabilities to essentially mill work aborted fetuses for the sake of research projects. Now, there's some more information on that tonight because we actually know who some of these organizations are. But Dr. Ben Carson was on tonight at the Kelly on the Kelly File, which, by the way, is cable television's brand new #1 program. Megyn Kelly is the host, and she had Dr. Ben Carson on to discuss this unbelievable and horrible happenstance. Listen to what the good doctor had to say.
It was the first time she said people wanted longer. And then, like I said, always as many intact livers as possible. People just want livers. People want lower extremities too, which that's simple. I mean, that's easy. I don't know what they're doing with it. I guess they want muscle.
Yeah, a dime a dozen.
The eating and the wine drinking is just disturbing. And that is part of the video we have been discussing with that Planned Parenthood doctor. No sooner had it been released than many in the media rushed to defend the abortion provider, arguing the harvesting of fetal organs is all for a good cause. Here's one example.
There's first the just sort of, I think, shock that people feel when they hear that fetal organs are being extracted and used for research, right?
Now, that was MSNBC. Okay.
As you learn more about the importance of fetal tissue in medical research, this undercover whatever it is seems in some ways less incendiary.
Does it? Dr. Ben Carson is a Republican presidential candidate and professor emeritus of neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins Medical School. Dr. Carson was the director of pediatric neurosurgery at Hopkins for 29 years. Doctor, thank you for being here with us. And so it's all for a good cause because those fetal organs are going for a good use. Your take on that?
Well, you know, it's been overpromised what the benefits of fetal research would be, and very much underdelivered. And if you go back over the years and look at the research that has been done and all the things that it was supposed to deliver, very little of that has been done. And there's nothing that can't be done without fetal tissue. So it's a spurious argument. But, you know, what's really disturbing is the fact that we have become so callous that a lot of people don't even realize that this is shocking to see the callousness which we are treating human life. It's interesting that there's so many people who are concerned about snail darters and little spiders and things, and yet the human being inside of that mother's womb, just beyond 10 weeks, is much more sophisticated than many of these creatures that they're trying to preserve.
Now, that's Dr. Ben Carson. And he is absolutely and completely on point. And he is totally correct on this. We have become so callous. We have become so desensitized to our own humanity that we don't realize that this is the stuff of Frankenstein. We know better than this. We made sure that stem cell research involving embryonic stem cells would not stand. This is nothing more than an even more heinous example of what happens when you give people that are bereft of morality and ethics an opportunity to make a little bit of money. If you have not seen that video released by the Center for Medical Progress showing Planned Parenthood's medical director, Dr. Deborah Nucatola, discussing the negotiations over baby body parts while sipping wine and eating salad, you really don't capture the horrifying reality of all of this. But it is horrifying. It is terrible. And it's nuts. And it doesn't work. None of this actually works. And none of it should work. And I said yesterday when I hit this, I said, I want to know where these tissue samples, these little lungs and hearts and livers and arms and legs, I want to know where they're going. Well, as it turns out, some of them are going to Colorado State University. They purchased fetal body parts from Planned Parenthood's flagship abortion facility in San Jose, California, through a company called STEM Express. CSU bought body parts which included a liver. STEM Express paid Planned Parenthood $50 per specimen and then ended up marking up the price. Planned Parenthood in one day, working with just one of these companies, STEM Express, made $450. STEM Express has an employee named Lila Remling. She's an employer of CSU's microbiology, immunology, and pathology department. She's the person who purchased the body parts. This is absolutely horrifying. It's terrible. A liver and a thymus, and it's just shocking. It's shocking and reprehensible that Colorado State University is purchasing the body parts of aborted babies for research. Colorado Citizens for Life calls on Colorado State University to immediately disclose what research it's conducting with body parts from babies that have arrived under these circumstances. CSU should immediately end any and all research involving the use of body parts from babies that are the result of abortions after their bodies have formed. This is off the scale bad. This is off the scale bad. Planned Parenthood defended their abortion business and said their activities are completely legitimate because sometimes their patients want to donate fetal tissue to scientific research. Then donate it then. But that's not what's happening. They're charging for it. STEM Express describes themselves as a multi-million-dollar company that supplies human blood, tissue products, primary cells, and other clinical specimens to biomedical researchers. This is a horrifying scam. This is a market for human body parts. They encourage organizations to pursue their business because they can help them implement programs that bring in financial profits. The Federalist points out that STEM Express quotes a Planned Parenthood official who endorses their business. According to the National Catholic Register, STEM Express makes a considerable amount of money selling these body parts from aborted fetuses. One of the buyers of fetal material from Planned Parenthood mentioned in the exchange is STEM Express, a business that sells liver cells for prices approaching $25,000. STEM Express is theoretically going to respond to all of this, except their website has been taken down. STEM Express maintenance mode is on. Website will be available soon. Yeah. The 2016 candidates have blasted this horrifying organization over the video. Planned Parenthood heard from Ben Carson, not just in that particular soundbite, but also, I'm urging Congress to eliminate every last dime of Planned Parenthood funding. Join me, sign the petition here, says Ben Carson. Rick Perry. The video showing a Planned Parenthood employee selling body parts of aborted children is a disturbing reminder of the organization's penchant for profiting off the tragedy of a destroyed human life. It is because of stories like this that I signed legislation defunding Planned Parenthood in the state of Texas to protect human life and the health and safety of Texans. Do you remember the abuse he took when he did that? Does he look so stupid and Texan now? Not to me. Jeb Bush. This is a shocking and horrific reminder that we must do so much more to foster a culture of life in America. I don't know what that means, and I don't think you do either. Mike Huckabee. I have pledged to defund Planned Parenthood. Stand with me. Rick Santorum. Always have been, always will be in favor of defunding Planned Parenthood and their destruction and now exploitation of human life. Carly Fiorina. I am proudly pro-life. I believe that every human life has potential. Every human life is precious. The latest news is tragic and outrageous. This isn't about choice. This is about profiting on the death of the unborn while telling women it's about empowerment. Good God. You're listening to the Wells Report. We'll finish this up. And I just hope that the Justice Department finds some way of going after these people as the racketeers and the horrifying flesh merchants that they are. It's just terrible. This is the Wells Report.
Bill Bennett breaks down the deal with Iran.
Look, I noticed who celebrated this deal. Iran did, Russia did, Syria, Assad did. But that's in some ways beside the point. It tells you something. It's indicative of something. But the question is, in the four corners of this agreement, does it make sense?
Bill Bennett's Morning in America, weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, Kurt Chase here. I've heard people say that getting married or buying a home are some of the biggest decisions you can make in life. Well, buying a new car is right up there, too. After all, the typical driver holds onto their vehicle for an average of 11 years. And you don't want to wind up paying too much for a car. Well, I can help you with that. Listen to my show, the Automotive Edge Radio Show, heard here every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Every week, I give tons of insider scoop about how to deal with the best car, best dealership. That's the Automotive Edge Radio Show.
Be honest. Will owning a bigger TV help you get ahead in life? Will another pair of shoes make you a better person? Probably not. But what if you could speak another language? If acquiring a new language excites you more than acquiring more stuff, then wait until you hear this. As part of its biggest language learning event in history, Rosetta Stone is giving away demos of its powerful language learning software absolutely free. For your free demo, call 1-800-700-3017. And Rosetta Stone has made language learning more convenient than ever. Learn on your computer or iPad, then practice on the go with your smartphone or MP3 player without ever opening a book or memorizing boring vocabulary again. Do you want more stuff Or do you want a language that will last a lifetime? After all, it's all about priorities. To try a free demo of this powerful language learning software, call 1-800-700-3017. Again, get your free demo now. 1-800-700-3017. That's 1-800-700-3017.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
Are your medical expenses and insurance costs out of control? There's a way to pay less for the healthcare you need. RealMedSavings.com. It's a membership like a club that lets you access huge networks of medical professionals for a whole lot less money. Real Med Savings even connects you with a board-certified physician anytime, 24 hours a day. The doctor will consult with you, diagnose the condition, and when necessary, call in the prescription. You pay nothing for the doctor's consultation because you're a member. You save money because we've already negotiated discounts on dental, vision, prescription drugs, and much more. Just go to RealMedSavings.com and learn all about it. Real Med Savings is not insurance. You just save real money on your health care for you and your whole family, and it costs less than $1 a day for the whole family. No salesperson will call, and there is no long-term commitment. Convenient money-saving health care. RealMedSavings.com.
Finally, the rain appears to be over and summer is upon us. The recent rains have caused the clay soil to expand and raise some homes with foundation problems, making them appear to be fixed. I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Listen, heavy rain swelling the clay soil and raising homes with foundation problems is like pumping air into a tire with a slow leak. It may look like the tire is fixed, but it is still leaking air and will eventually go flat again. If you think this might be happening with your home, call Structured Foundation Repairs today for a free, comprehensive evaluation of your foundation. We'll let you know if you have a foundation problem or if you're just experiencing normal seasonal movement. We'll also check to see if you have a drainage problem around your home and make recommendations if the drainage should be improved. We're fully insured and our peers come back by a lifetime transferable warranty. So if you have questions about your foundation or think you might have a drainage problem, call Structured Foundation Repairs today at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
Comfort. What comes to mind for you? For me, it might be relaxing poolside or maybe a nice soft pillow. One of the things it is for most of us is a nice cool room on a hot day in Texas. It's also comfortable knowing that your electric bills might be a little lower. Comfort is also knowing that you're not going to have any more problems from your windows. What makes me comfortable is knowing that I can get home and actually have every room in my house be cool and comfortable. There's nothing I hate worse than one hot room in my house. I'm real sure you don't like that either. So the question becomes, what are you going to do about it? There's only one or two windows in there anyway. That's the problem. Hi, I'm Dave Trainer of the Window Connection. I would so value the opportunity to come to your home and see if we can find a good solution for making you and your family a whole lot more comfortable. You can find out more about me and my company at thewindowconnection.net.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
660 AM, The Answer. Now, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Thanks very much for being a part of this radio broadcast. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. We're going through some of the things that 2016 Republican presidential candidates are saying about this Planned Parenthood scandal. Planned Parenthood must be defunded after the horror revealed today, says Rand Paul. Add your name if you agree. Bobby Jindal, the latest Planned Parenthood video is disgusting. I will fight to defend the unborn. Support life. Sign the petition. Scott Walker, in a statement to BuzzFeed News, quote, this is absolutely horrifying and disgusting. Planned Parenthood and the Democrats who vote to fund this organization owe the American people an explanation for these heinous and possibly illegal actions. If they are not illegal actions, they need to be illegal actions. Anything having to do with body parts as the result of a terminated pregnancy needs to be a crime. And I'm shocked that it isn't already. Colorado State needs to lose an entire year of incoming freshmen. Colorado State University. What are they researching? I want to know what they're researching. That's what I want to know. I want to know what they're trying to figure out. It's just absolutely disgusting. And by the way, while we're talking about what Republican presidential candidates are saying, what are Democrat presidential candidates saying? None of the declared Democrat presidential candidates. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Senator Bernie Sanders, former Governor Martin O'Malley, former Senator Jim Webb, former Governor Lincoln Chafee have responded to multiple requests for comments from people like Daily Caller and other places. Democrat National Committee Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz didn't respond to multiple requests for comment. Nobody's talking. Everybody's running for the tall grass. What the hell? What is that? Why isn't this being reported by the mainstream media? The mainstream media not doing anything. Except, of course, what they're doing is they're defending it if they're saying anything. The Media Research Center has examined broadcast coverage of the undercover video revealing Planned Parenthood's Senior Director of Medical Services referring to the practice of selling body parts from aborted fetuses. The chilling account went public, but warranted little attention from the big three. ABC, CBS completely ignored the story. NBC gave it 39 seconds. Omitted the damning quotes, according to the analysis. How is it not news? The senior executive at Planned Parenthood, an organization that receives millions of dollars of taxpayer money every year, seems to be violating the law and selling aborted baby body parts, apparently obtained through illegal partial birth abortions. This practice is as ghoulish as anything Joseph Mengele ever said or did. Gosh, I wish I'd have said that. But wait, I did. Isn't that news, says Dan Gaynor, Vice President for Culture at the conservative media watchdog, Media Research Center. ABC and CBS are so outlandishly pro-abortion they passed on the news completely. This is the greatest human crime against humanity I've ever seen anybody in America partake in. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I'm the only one talking about it. This is the Wells Report.
Dennis Prager gets rough on Bernie Sanders.
To call yourself a socialist in the United States at this time, with the record of socialist parties in Europe and in Latin America, is to be a moral idiot. The people who go to his rallies are moral idiots. You have no moral compass if you support socialism in the United States of America.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Our country was built upon the foundation of strong men and women who had a vision for what America should look like decades ahead. From the brave soldiers who battled for our freedom to the police and firemen who keep us safe here at home. These are the people who have built the foundation that can support America for years to come. Foundations are just as important for your home as those men and women are for our beautiful country. And that's why Alliance Foundation is here to help. At Alliance Foundation, they know just what your home needs. It may not be the cheapest quote out there, but it's definitely going to be the one that does the job right. Wouldn't you rather take the time to have it done right the first time and not have to go do it over again? Alliance Foundation knows that you don't put a Band-Aid on something that needs stitches. Alliance Foundation also wants to give all former and current military, as well as emergency servicemen, a 10% discount on all their jobs. So go online to AllianceFoundationRepairTexas.com. That's AllianceFoundationRepairTexas.com.
Summertime. Kids are out of school. It's vacations all around, but let's get very serious about the fall and next year and the rest of your financial life. Here's an opportunity at the end of July 31st, August 1st, in fact, to get into the latest New Venture on Wall Street seminars. Hey, Mark Davis, I've done this and I loved it. It has helped me enormously. NVOWS.com, the website for New Venture on Wall Street, NVOWS.com. See what they do. Pastor David Mitchell's plan on helping you get into the stock market and understand it a little better, be a little smarter, invest a little more wisely, retire earlier, get a second income stream. There's a seminar in Fort Worth at the Norris Conference Center on Houston Street, another in Richardson on East Campbell Road at the Hyatt Regency. Take your pick, July 31st, August 1st, and call and get yourself a seat right now. 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE. New venture on Wall Street. Learn about it at nvows.com. nvows.com. Then get your seat now at 877-907-TRADE. 877-907-TRADE.
Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY in Dallas Baptist University, welcome Matt Redman. Sunday, July 26th, Matt Redman at First Baptist Church in Louisville. With 2 Grammy Awards, Matt Redman's songs are heard around the world. Now you and your family have an opportunity to see Matt Redman in concert Sunday, July 26th at First Baptist Church in Louisville. Get your tickets now at itickets.com. This will be his only North Texas appearance, so don't wait. Get your tickets to see international recording artist and songwriter Matt Redman. Go to itickets.com. Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY in Dallas Baptist University, welcome Matt Redman.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet, America's #1 arch support. And that invites the question, who needs arch support? Answer is more people than you think. Do your feet hurt at the end of a day? That's not just the way life is supposed to be. You should have arch support where your feet feel great even at the end of a long day of walking. If your feet hurt at the beginning of the day, man, you got all kinds of issues and they can be helped. You can get out of pain with arch support. It could be structural misalignment, plantar fasciitis, kind of a foot alignment, supination, overpronation, all these technical things that they know about at Good Feet. And what you'll know is you can walk in pain. You can limp in and walk out pain-free. This happens with so many people. I want to send everybody to goodfeetdfw.com, goodfeetdfw.com, Plano, Fort Worth, South Lake. Absolutely fantastic people. No shots, no medicine, no surgery, just relief from pain. So get out of pain today. 888-660-0942. 888-660-0942 or goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-651-4888 for a free consultation. That's 800-651-4888.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report, must-hear radio on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Mark Davis will show up tomorrow morning for the Friday edition of the Mark Davis Show. 3 hours coast to coast as America's newest talk radio superstar. And then for the Mark Davis that all of us knows and have known for the last 20 years right here in Texas only. Mark, what have you got planned for us?
Hey, JD, good Thursday night. Ready for a big old Friday morning, and I do mean big. We start at 5 o'clock in the morning on Bill Bennett's Morning in America. I'm going to see what the whole country thinks of this horrible nuclear deal. Maybe not everybody hates it as much as I do. I don't know. We'll check. And a number of other things along the 2016 campaign trail and various other issues. That's 5 to 8 a.m. on Morning in America. 8 to 10, it's local in terms of scope and audience, but topically anything you want. So aim anywhere there, 5 to 10 a.m., and we'll be there in some form. Mark Davis looking for you tomorrow morning, anywhere 5 to 10 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Thanks very much, Mark. I will look forward to your show tomorrow like I always do. Thanks, man. It's great having you as a wingman. So the Transportation Security Administration is facing a new lawsuit. Let me try this whole thing one more time. The Transportation Security Administration is facing a new lawsuit over its body scanners. This is a case that accuses the agency of pushing ahead with devices without required regulations. 3 limited government and civil liberties groups filed suit yesterday against the agency before the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. The plaintiffs, the Competitive Enterprise Institute, the National Center for Transgender Equality, and the Rutherford Institution made a simple argument. The TSA doesn't actually have rules for the use of body scanners. There is no regulation controlling the use of body scanners right now, said Mark Scribner, a research fellow at CEI. TSA has been using scanners the last 7 years, but that entire span of time they've been operating without regulation or license or anything of the kind. They've been operating unlicensed X-ray machines on people like you and, well, people like you. I don't put myself through those damn things. The groups are asking the court to force the agency to propose system regulations within 90 days. The case comes on the heels of a scathing Inspector General report that found major security gaps at airport checkpoints. All of this is nothing more than a charade. That's all it is. It's a flippin' charade. Nobody is going to go through that security to get any kind of terrorist weapon on board an airplane. Unless, of course, they already have their weapons on the airplane, in which case they'll walk right through. Like I keep telling you, anybody that's going to pull off another one of these attacks, everything's going to be perfectly and completely on the up and up. It'll be the biggest surprise the TSA ever had. The same D.C. Federal Appeals Court ruled in 2011 the agency needs to develop rules for scanners under the Administrative Procedures Act. The TSA proposed ideas in 2013, but has yet to follow through. Since 2007, the agency has installed 740 scanners across 160 airports. The plaintiffs want the court to enforce its prior ruling. Scribner said the agency has repeatedly avoided accountability and transparency. Really? Yep, really. The lawsuit would require TSA proposals to be subject to public comment and expert evaluation before implementation. The NCTE, has said that current body scanner procedures violate privacy and adversely affect transgender people. According to USA Today, TSA officials maintain the scanners are essential for detecting non-metallic explosives. They add that the system is much quicker and more efficient than traditional pat-downs by TSA employees, apparently forgetting the non-traditional pat-downs by various TSA employees of various sexualities based on a tip-off from the people in the back room looking at everybody's junk. Oh, thought I'd forget that, huh? And they lied to us about it. Body scanners have received considerable criticism. In 2013, the agency was forced to change its scanner manufacturers after privacy grievances. You know, oh, you can't tell anybody, you can't see anybody's junk, you can't do it. Baloney. What a crock of crap. Last fall, an undercover Department of Homeland Security Inspector General investigation found that scanners and agents missed banned items, including explosives, 95% of the time. The agency has expanded its body scanners. But Mark Scribner, a research fellow at the Competitive Enterprise Institute, is confident the lawsuit will force TSA to change its ways. I think after 4 years of TSA essentially flouting the law and more than 2 years since the last meaningful action of the agency, we are confident the court will see TSA's lack of action troubling and that it will warrant a court order to speed up the required process. TSA has not responded to a request for comment on the lawsuit because they're having trouble keeping the crayon sharp enough to fill out the form. Look, none of this is legal. Not one damn shred of it. Nothing that the TSA does beyond looking at your ID is legal. You and I have never, ever taken part in anything close to something that would resemble enough of an act to warrant the barest bit of probable cause, let alone actually created probable cause. We have laws in this nation protecting us from unwarranted searches and seizures. They can't take your pocket knife from you. And forgive me, but what about, I don't know, anybody on Flight 93? What if any of those guys had their knives with them? You know, the ones that weren't terrorists. Yeah, this is the dumbest thing ever. What we are doing is we are creating a mess. It's an absolute flippin' mess. What you do is very, very simple. You turn the entire process over to the airlines, and if anything bad happens, the FAA will take them out of business. The fine structure will start at $1 billion. I have told everybody that would listen countless times that the only way that we're ever going to have any real security in the air in any of these aircraft is if we allow people like me who can pass a psychological exam, pass background checks, pass the education necessary to be able to actually do the job. You need to put us on airplanes and let us protect our neighbors. We'll carry our weapons. And somebody comes up with some lame idea to tell everybody to get to the back of the plane because they're about to fly it into a building, will be shot. That's what needs to happen. You don't even have to pay those people. You wouldn't have to pay me. Although I'd really, really like the really expensive corn chip, an extra pack of those expensive corn chips. Who puts those on? Who is that American that has those? I just want a couple extra packs of those. Yeah. I'm telling you that we don't do that is the dumbest thing ever. We could solve this immediately. All of it. You don't even have to have the dang airlines pay for the equipment. Just give it to them. Give them the equipment. Give them the people. Let me ask you this question. How many TSA workers would make it through the vetting process to become workers for Southwest Airlines? Do you think that that might improve the overall circumstance for everyone? I do. Unflipping believable. This is absolutely unflipping believable. Airport body scanners. The federal government has no right to do what they're doing. Now, on the other hand, so you're saying you don't want to check anybody. Is that right? No, that has nothing to do with it. Somebody from Southwest Airlines can check you any way they want to, as long as they don't touch your junk. They could be a lot more invasive, in fact. I don't put myself through the scanners. I just go ahead and opt for the pat down, and I always tell the worker I apologize first, and I tell them that if you touch my junk, I'm calling the cops. And it's amazing. I don't think I've ever had anybody argue with me. Nobody's argued with me. A supervisor got called over by a nervous TSA worker, and the supervisor looked at the worker and said, "Don't worry about it, just don't touch his junk." And then they thanked me. Both of them did. They thanked me for standing up. That's what's happened every time I've gone through there. I say, "Hey, look, I'm just doing my job." And he goes, "We are too. This is terrible." We have to stand for something. We, the people of the United States, have to stand for this wonderful organization called the United States of America. We have to stand up for it. We have to fight for it, or it will be taken away from us incrementally. The government can tax tobacco, but the powers that be won't let you smoke it. Those same powers that be have no problem whatsoever with you smoking marijuana. Because everything is completely screwed up because we can't vote for the right people. Because we get wrapped around the axle by all these crazy people that want to turn America into some sort of failed state so that what? They feel more comfortable? They don't want anybody to outperform anybody else because they can't perform. They can't outperform anybody else. Is that it? If it wasn't for participation trophies, they'd have no trophies at all? The answer to that one is yes. The Fourth Amendment of the Constitution is broken hundreds of thousands of times every day by people now getting sued because they don't have any rules governing the use of scanners that they force us through every single day. Just because you bought an airplane ticket, somehow this government believes that you should submit to an electronic strip search. How long will it be before they just dispense with scanners entirely? How long will it be before they just say, "Hey, take off your clothes"? Not long. Mark my words. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer.
My wife has no problem with that.
Bill Bennett breaks down the deal with Iran.
Look, I noticed who celebrated this deal. Iran did, Russia did, Syria, Assad did. But that's in some ways beside the point. It tells you something. It's indicative of something. But the question is, in the four corners of this agreement, does it make sense?
Bill Bennett's Morning in America, weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Each week and every Saturday afternoon, whether you're remodeling an existing house or building a new one, doing it yourself or hiring a professional, we're here to bring you interviews with the experts and take your phone calls. And we bring it to you with a little green, whether it be energy efficiency or organic products for your house. So join us each week for a little House Talk Today.
House Talk Today, Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM. The Answer.
We've been hearing a lot about Uber lately, so we decided to get out there and talk to some actual Uber partners to get our questions answered.
Is signing up to drive with Uber really hard?
Nope, signing up with Uber is super easy.
It was simple and easy. Okay, but can I drive my own car?
Yes. You get to drive your own car.
But my roommate doesn't even have a car. Can she drive with Uber?
They can help her get a car too.
I wouldn't be able to get a vehicle if it wasn't for Uber. It took me less than 6 hours to get a car.
So you could just sign up and earn money.
Sign up, drive, and you make some money.
You're saying saying I can just use the smartphone app to make money whenever I want?
Yeah, you just open the app whenever you feel like driving.
All I have to do is turn on my phone, hit the road, and I start making money.
Are the hours good?
I work less hours and I make more money.
I'm my own boss now, so I set my own hours.
Okay, this all sounds pretty great. What do you think I should do?
You need to sign up for Uber.
You can make serious life-changing money when you drive with Uber. Get started today at drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com. drivewithuber.com.
Sample comes with a 90-day order. Copays and deductibles may apply.
Attention, catheter patients on Medicare. I'm a professional cowboy, and I use catheters. Been cowboying for 25 years. I've broken 14 bones, had 2 concussions, and a punctured lung. I know pain, and I don't want any more of it, especially when I cath. Now, I use these new nearly painless catheters from Medical Direct Club. They hurt less. Compared to the old ones, these ain't nothing. Here's how it works. You call and you get a free catheter sample. I was just like you, wondering if I should call. Boy, I'm glad I did. Give yourself a break from pain and try these new catheters. You won't know unless you try them. Give them a call now. You have nothing to worry about. They bill Medicare and your insurance company. You pay nothing up front. You get your free, nearly painless catheter sample sent right to your home.
Call toll-free 1-800-500-4605. That's 1-800-500-4605. 1-800-500-4605. Call now.
Howdy, folks. Crazy Gun Dealer here, and I still have a few of those Taurus 380 pocket pistols for only $179 with ammo purchase. So hurry on in here and get you one while they still last. If you're a new shooter or an old hand, I promise you're going to feel right at home at the Crazy Gun Dealer. We're going to treat you with good old Texas hospitality and make certain you know you're appreciated when you buy a gun from us. Every gun comes with free CHL classes, free lifetime warranty, free range membership, and free test firing with purchase. And if we don't already have the best gun price you found, we'll beat any price anywhere, gun to gun, because nobody wants your gun business more than the Crazy Gun Dealer. That's the Crazy Gun Dealer in Alvarado. To follow us, text CRAZY to 24587. Visit crazygundealer.com or just give us a call at 855-329-4867. That's 855-329-GUNS.
All offers and promotions subject to change or restrictions. See store for complete details.
Hi, I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Our motto is to do the right thing. In some respects, it's hard being the company that always does the right thing. But for our customers' sake, it's very important that we do. Being fully insured, as an example, costs us a lot of money, but it protects our customers. Having employees instead of day laborers is a huge responsibility, but our dedicated employees ensure that we do the best repairs we can. Managing a large office staff can be tedious, but they provide our customers a helpful voice when they need something urgent. Returning every phone call is time-consuming, but instills our customers with confidence that we will always be there when they need us. The Aggie Code of Honor states that Aggies don't lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those that do. That code was the principle our company was founded on, and it guides our daily operations. If this sounds like the kind of company you could trust to repair your foundation, call us today for a free evaluation at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. The Wells Report is on 660 AM The Answer.
How are you? 866-660-5759. Tell me about science. But who needs science when you have politics, really? You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Okay, so you remember the Obama administration trying to kill the coal industry by going through the EPA and saying that anything that remotely resembled smoke was going to kill everybody, you know? And the Supreme Court of the United States said, no, that's not real. And you're going to have to keep in mind the cost of these ridiculous regulations that you throw out there for the sake of politics. Well, as soon as they got that defeat, they finally said, hey, this is the EPA. Hey, the coal industry is ruining all the groundwater. Yeah, they're ruining all the groundwater now. Yeah, we've been mining coal for 150 years, and obviously our water is totally destroyed. Yeah, this is going to go down to defeat too, but I figured you'd like to know. Look, There's nothing wrong with good, cheap energy. Okay? Nothing. Get out of the way, sit down, and color. Here's a green crayon. It's the only one you'll need. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. Have a nice night. I will see you tomorrow for the Friday edition of the Wells Report.
20 plus years of unemployment. That's what retirement is or should be, but imagine still working when you're 75 because you didn't have an exit plan for the next stock market crash. If you think your current plan has too much risk, listen to Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Sundays at 11 a.m. on 660 a.m. The Answer. Rick and Kevin will tell you the truth about the financial world we live in. No one knows when the next correction will be. So listen to Plain Talk No Worries with Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Sundays at 11 a.m. on 660 a.m. The Answer.
This isn't a commercial. It's a gift to anyone who's sick and tired of dealing with their hearing loss. Because we'll give everyone who calls a risk-free trial of a life-changing hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Not only that, we'll also give you free shipping and free batteries for life. But you must call now. 1-800-700-9313. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. And you can adjust Listen Clear to find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. So if you're sick of dealing with your hearing loss, let us give you a 100% risk-free home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-700-9313. That's 1-800-700-9313. 1-800-700-9313.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
Rembrandt Rockefeller